baseman, batting third, right fielder, number 33, Nathan Lucas. Batting fourth, left fielder, number 6, Chris Lewis. Batting fifth, second baseman, number 18, Brandon Moore. Batting sixth, shortstop, number 7, Scotty Wilson. Batting seventh, DH, number 30, Ryan Moss. Batting eighth, catcher, number 8, Bennett Bowman. Batting ninth, free baseman, number 4, TJ Fuller. And pitching for the Hornets, number 44, Sam Moore. And now, the lineup for our UVU Wolverines. Batting first, left fielder, number 54, Cade Andrus. Batting second, right fielder, number 21, Mark Cougar. Batting third, shortstop, number 1, Grayson Bachman. Batting fourth, first baseman, batting fifth, catcher, number 19, Jake Atkinson. Batting sixth, center fielder, number 12, Greg Bringerhoff. Batting seventh, DH number 10, Andy Perkins. Batting eighth, third baseman, number 4, Jordan Schneehuber. Batting ninth, second baseman, number 8, Zach Fuller. And pitching for the Wolverines, number 26, Jackson Cofer. And be sure to check inside your game roster for a special offer from Minuteman Press. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem performed by UVU's own Mike Shively.
It is a warm April evening here in Orem, Utah, as we get set for Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com. I'm Jordan Bianucci alongside my partner, Ryan Pickens, and UVU gets set for Game 2 of a 3-game series with Sacramento State, and it should be a good one. UVU, to the surprise of many yesterday, Sacramento State, a very good ball game, a very good ball club, was picked to finish first in the WAC in the preseason polls. UVU took care of business last night, winning 12-3, and Ryan, they hope to do the same tonight.
Yeah, just a great game last night, played offensively by Utah Valley. Good for them to put 12 runs up on this very good Sacramento State pitching staff, who came in as a team with an ERA around 3, maybe even below that. And tonight, an opportunity to build on that confidence tonight against another very good pitcher in Sam Long.
So the pitcher out there on the mound for UVU tonight, it'll be Jackson Cofer. Cofer in his last start against Chicago State was only able to get 1 out for the Wolverines. So he looks to improve upon that, and Well, I think he will. He's a fierce competitor. He was talking to Dave Carter before the game and just talking about Jackson Kofer. He was a quarterback in high school and just one of the most competitive guys you'll ever meet. So he's ready for this start. He's been waiting a week for this start. And with that in mind, we'll send it over to Ryan with the starting lineups.
The starting lineup for the visiting Sacramento State Hornets, who come in with a record of 18-14. They are 6-4 here in WAC play. Leading off in center field will be Kyle Moses. Vinny Esposito at first base bats in the 2 spot. Nathan Lukes, the right fielder, hits 3rd. Chris Lewis, who hit the home run last night, hits 4th. Brandon Hunley, the second baseman, hits 5th. Scotty Burcham, the shortstop, hitting 6th. Ryan Locke will DH tonight. Gunnar Pullman behind home plate. And P.J. Floyd rounds out the order and bats 9th. Quickly defensively for Utah Valley will be Cade Anderson left. Craig Brinkerhoff back in the lineup and right. In right field, it's going to be Mark Kruger. On the infield, Jordan Schlehuber, Grayson Bogdan. On the left side, the right side will be Zach Fuller. Spencer Goffberg over at first, behind the plate, Jake Atkinson.
First pitch, fastball, strike 1. So first pitch, 6:01 local time, 70 degrees your game time temperature, so a pleasant evening. 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and in, and it's 1-1 to Kyle Moses. Moses comes into the ballgame batting .250, no home run, or rather 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter takes another fastball. This one misses down low, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Your umpires tonight, Jared Ferens calling balls and strikes, John Bullock at first base, and Joe Maiden at 3rd. The 2-1 pitch to Moses. Swing and a chopper just topped it foul near the home plate, and the count's even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Moses, in last night's ball game, went 1 for 5. He scored a run and struck out once. The 2-2 on the way from Kofer. Swing and a chopper down the third base line, but foul. Jackson Kofer will come with a fastball with good cut on it. Mix in a changeup and a curveball. The southpaw working from the windup here. We're just underway. No score. Hornets and Wolverines. 2-2. Fastball just missed off the outside, and the count runs full to Kyle Moses. Waiting on deck is Vinny Esposito. From the windup, Kofer delivers. Fastball missed high, and the leadoff man is on for the Hornets. So this is mirroring just one hitter, we should mention, but just mirroring Kofer's tough outing against Chicago State when he was replaced after only getting 1 out in the first inning. So we'll see how he responds here.
And this will be important. Esposito's a key hitter for Jackson Kofer to get that first out of the ball game, especially after being ahead in the count, to fall behind and end up walking the leadoff man.
So here's Esposito. The pitch. The right-handed hitter takes a strike on the outside corner. Moses at first base. He's 4 for 8 in stolen base attempts this season. He's held on by Spencer Gothberg over there. Everybody straight away for the Wolverines, except in left field. Craig Brinkerhoff shading Esposito to pull it. Now a ball misses down and in. Looked like a changeup, and the count's even at 1-1. Average speed at first base for Moses, although Ryan, we were talking before the ball game, and average speed for most of these base runners for Sacramento State, but that hasn't stopped them from stealing bags this season. 1-1 pitch, chopped foul near the UVU dugout on the third base side, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, you go through this lineup, you have Moses with 4, Nathan Lukes in the on-deck circle with 8 on the year, Scotty Burcham with 8, Brandon Hunley with 6. I mean, so this is a Hornets team that's going to look to try to move base runners, and when you're struggling offensively, that's, try to push some base runners, maybe take a chance here and there. Not a bad idea.
1-2 pitch doesn't come as Kofer slings one over to first base. Back in standing is Moses. Nathan Lukes waits on deck. The big hitter, he's hitting .374. Everybody else below 300 in this Sac State lineup. The 1-2 on the way. Swung on, little chopper to short. Charging is Bogdan. He'll go to first wisely as he had no play at second. So a 6-3 putout. Advancing from first to second on the play is Kyle Moses, and there's one away for Nathan Lukes. Man in scoring position, one out here in the top of the first.
And that seems like a routine play. You know, you're taught the younger levels always look for the lead runner, but there are times when that play's not there, and you do have to take the guaranteed out at first. And Grayson Bogdan does a great job of making that play quickly. I mean, he took a look at second to see, realized, okay, I can't get him, take the guaranteed out there.
And not a bad job by Vinny Esposito. Had he hit that ball a little harder, would have been a double play, most likely, as a curveball misses away. One ball, no strikes to the left-handed hitting Lukes. Lukes, I mentioned, hitting .374, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in this season. The wind blowing in from right field right now, so Lukes, the left-handed hitter, would really have to hit one hard to get it out of here. 1-0 pitch, lefty on lefty. That fastball just missed maybe a bit low. Good pitch there. 2 balls, no strikes. Playing even with the bag at third base, maybe 10, 15 feet off the bag, is Jordan Schleyhuber. Gothberg guarding the line down at first. 2-0 to the left-handed hitter, chops one to second base. Charging is Fuller. He has it, goes to first for the out, and there are 2 away. Advancing from second to third was Moses. So, 2 down for Chris Lewis. And I think if you ask Jackson Kofer, he'll take that out any day from the hard-hitting Nathan Lukes. Just a candy hop, big chopper in front of home plate. Perfect for Zach Fuller. Made an easy play on it. So Kofer, after walking the leadoff man, is 1 out away from getting out of this inning unscathed. The pitch. And that looked pretty good, but missed inside a fastball, and it's 1-0. I assume it missed inside.
He didn't miss by much there, that's for sure. I'm guessing maybe a little inside, just around belt high.
Kofer working quickly, pours in a strike there right on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1 to Chris Lewis. Lewis, a .221 hitter, 3 homers, 16 runs batted in for the right-handed batter. That one swung on and lined foul off the sidewall near the UVU bullpen. It caroms back into left field, but the count 1-2. So Kofer will look for the strikeout here and to get out of this inning.
Lewis hit a home run in last night's ball game that went pretty deep up there in that berm, almost up to the top of the berm out there in left field. He got a good piece of it.
1-2 fastball, misses high and away, and the count's even at 2-2. Moses 90 feet away from scoring Sacramento State's first run. No score, top of the first inning. 2 men out, 1 man on. Now time is taken at home plate by Chris Lewis. He steps out. The wind kind of swirling out in right center field. We look at the flag beyond the wall. Now blowing in from right. Swung on, fouled away off to the right side. The wind changes so quickly here at Brent Brown Ballpark that you really can kind of update it pitch by pitch. We'll try and limit that. But the wind now beginning to blow in from right. Playing shallow in right field is Kruger. Everybody else deep in the outfield. Bogdan playing on the grass at short towards the hole. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So, Sacramento State leaves a man stranded. No hits, no runs. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Hornets nothing. The Wolverines coming up. You're listening to Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com.
Baseball fans, this season you can beat all foul balls, courtesy of the Utah Army National Guard. Learn more about Utah Army National Guard by visiting beachsandguard.com or by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD. And check out your itself for special discounted offers from the UVU store. The bookstore is a non-sponsored Wolverine outlet.
back here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Bottom of the first inning, the Hornets go relatively quietly, but now the Wolverines will look to have the kind of offensive night they had last night with those 12 runs. Pretty similar lineup tonight for Coach Eric Madsen and the Wolverines. Leading off in left field will be number 34, Kate Andrus. Mark Kruger will hit in the 2-hole again tonight. Grayson Bogdan will hit third. Spencer Gothberg in the cleanup spot. Catcher Jake Atkinson will hit fifth. Craig Brinkerhoff, the center fielder, hitting sixth. Andy Perkins will DH tonight. Jordan Schlehuber hits eighth, and Zach Fuller rounds out the order in batting ninth. Defensively for Sacramento State, in the outfield, it's going to be Chris Lewis in left, Kyle Moses in center, Nathan Lukes in right. PJ Floyd will be at third, Scotty Burcham at short. Over at second, Brandon Hunley. Vinny Esposito at first, behind the plate, Gunnar Pullman. And on the mound is going to be the sophomore Sam Long on the year, 5-1, making his 8th start. He does have one complete game on the season in 48 2/3 innings. Batters are hitting 155 off of him so far this season.
Fastball misses up high to Andrus, as the Wolverines look to get that offense going just as they did last night. They scored a run in the first after giving up a run in the first. Little did we know, or did the Wolverines know, that it would become a laugher, as they call it. Ball misses down low. It's 2-0. That one, a fastball swung on, line drive, base hit, left field. Kate Andrus is hot right now at the plate after homering last night. He's on with a leadoff base hit.
That's just a hard hit ball, pitch middle of the plate, and the hard part is, and we saw this a little bit with Lateo last night, you're going to miss with that fastball in the middle of the plate. When you get to this level, you know, in high school you might get away with that a little bit. You get to the college level, these are Division I hitters. They're going to hit that pitch more times than they're not going to, and right there, that's just a fastball middle of the plate that Andrus hits hard.
Andrus, good-sized lead at first, held on by Esposito. The lefty, Long, checks him, now comes home. 88-mile-an-hour fastball in there on the outside corner to the left-handed hitting Mark Kruger. Long peering in at the sign. He'll come with a fastball, upper 80s, and mix in a curveball and a changeup from the stretch. He comes set, belt high, curveball and a beauty that falls in there. Quickly 0-2 to Mark Kruger. Kruger, the big left-handed hitter, comes into the ballgame hitting .327, 19 runs batted in, 2 homers. He's seen 2 crisp pitches from Sam Long, though, to begin this at bat. 0-2 coming. Throw over to first base, back in diving headlong is Andrus. Talked to Mark before the ballgame, and Mark is always all smiles. Mark could be 0 for his last 45, and he would still be just the nicest guy in the world. But he just said I asked him, how are you seeing the ball right now? He goes, man, I've never been seeing it great. Things are going well for Mark as he takes a ball outside. It's 1-2. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but he was just laughing, and he's having a good time out there right now.
And you know, when you're hitting the baseball like Mark is right now, you're going to have a great time with it. Sam Long, particularly tough on lefties, so it's going to be interesting to see that Long against Kruger battle. A couple of all-conference potential players going at each other.
1-2 curveball is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Kruger just getting a piece of it. Waiting on deck is Grayson Bogdan. No score, bottom of the first inning. A man on, nobody out for the Wolverines. Andrus at first base. He's stolen 7 bags this season, been caught 4 times. Good-sized lead over there. Throw over there. A nice pick by Vinny Esposito to make sure that ball didn't go down the right field line. The count, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kruger. He just saw a curveball. Let's see what Long comes with. The lefty delivers. Andrus takes off, but the ball is chopped foul down the first base side. Andrus, I think, would have stolen that bag easily, but the hit and run was on. Mark did a nice job of making contact, but a foul ball, so Andrus will head back to the first base bag. Count still 1-2 to Kruger.
You have good speed on it first. You got a good contact hitter on Mark Kruger, and with Esposito holding the runner there, if Kruger pulls one into right, Andrus easily goes first to third.
The 1-2 pitch. Andrus stays put, swing and a miss by Mark Kruger, and he is down on strikes. So here comes Grayson Bogdan with 1 out and a man on. Kruger saw a good, I think that was a changeup right there that he was just out in front of. So Bogdan, the right-handed hitter, will come up with Andrus still at first. He singled, I beg your pardon, to begin this ball game, or begin this bottom of the first inning. You take one night off, Ryan, and all of a sudden I'm tongue-tied. Andrus with his lead, the pitch, curveball right there on the outside corner, taken for a strike. Bogdan hitting .270, no home runs, 10 men batted in for the Wolverine shortstop. Gothberg waits on deck. Long, the lefty, comes set, working quickly, now throws over to first base. Again, Andrus back in diving. The outfield, except in left field where the fence is very short, everybody playing pretty much middle deep. Double play depth up the middle for Sac State. The corners even with the bags. 0-1 pitch. Bogdan takes a fastball that just misses off the outside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Sam Long tonight on the pitches where he has missed, he's not missing there by very much, and he's putting him in a spot where he's really kind of teasing the hitter to see if the hitter's going to chase that, and Grayson Bogdan there, a great eye to let that pitch go off the plate.
Yeah, he is right around the plate, even on balls, looking very sharp. 1-1 pitch misses up high, and it's 2-1. Came with a changeup there, or it may have been the curveball, it just didn't break. Long peers in, that glove tucked up against his chest, now comes set at the belt, checks Andrus, comes home, 2-1, strike called on the inside corner, fastball, and it's 2-2 to Bogdan. Last night Bogdan went 1 for 4, scored a run, had an RBI. He also reached base on a walk. A man on, 1 out, no score. 2-2 pitch, swung on and lifted high into shallow right field. Coming in and to his left is Lukes. He'll reach up with one hand, make the grab. Retreating back to first base is Andrus, and there are 2 away in the inning for Spencer Gothberg.
Just working the at-bat there, making Long, kind of go deep into the pitch count. Something that I know I mentioned before we signed off last night. Sacramento State really needs Sam Long to give them 6-7 innings. They went deep into that bullpen last night. With still for Sacramento State having the game tomorrow and then a midweek game before another conference series. The deeper they can get Sam Long tonight to save that bullpen, the better.
Here is Spencer Gothberg, hitting from the right side, bent at the knees, slightly open stance. Andrus takes off. Pitch in there for a strike, throw it down to second, it's in the dirt, he's safe. A huge steal for Cade Andrus. Now a man in scoring position for Gothberg here in the first. Andrus got a good jump off the lefty, and the throw was just, I think it bounced in front of second base. I don't think it would have been in time, however, had it been on line.
Andrus had about 3 or 4 steps towards second, and Long looked over, but he already started his motion home, and I think he even knew there's nothing I can do now. I have to go home with it.
Yeah, The 0-1 pitch to Gothberg. Breaking ball misses down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We always talk about pitchers maybe paying too much attention to the base runner. There's also the pitchers that pay maybe too much attention to the hitters and don't worry enough about base runners.
And what that could have been, perhaps, Andrus or Derek Amicone, the first base coach, may have seen something in Sam Long's delivery and been able to take off early. Curveball misses down and in, and it's a favorable count for Spencer Gothberg at 2 balls, 1 strike. Andrus with his primary lead at second base, good sized. Cheating over there is the second baseman, Hunley. Now he retreats back to his position. 2-1 pitch, down in the dirt. It gets all the way to the backstop. Andrus will take third and round third. That ball, I believe it was a fastball that went past Pullman. He really never had a chance at it. That should be a wild pitch. So now, after singling to begin this inning, Andrus took second, stealing the bag, and now on a wild pitch, takes third. So the Wolverines just 90 feet away from taking a lead in this ball game.
And this is those situations last night Utah Valley did really well in 2-out hitting, trying to get that clutch RBI. They're going to have to do that throughout the series if they're going to find a way to win another game and take the series.
Gothberg will be sitting dead red. 3-1 pitch. Fastball missed way outside, and he's on with a walk. So now it's Jake Atkinson. And we'll see here, it'll be interesting if the Wolverines put on any kind of base running play here, if they send Gothberg from first base to see if they can get Andrus home. The catcher, Gunnar Pullman, steps out in front of home plate to put on a sign, let his infield know what the situation is, who's covering second and so forth. Everybody straight away for Sacramento State. This inning all began with a Cade Andrus line drive single into left field. Runners on the corners, no score. Bottom of the first, 2 outs. The pitch. Fastball missed in, and it's 1-0. Say a fastball. I think he started him off there with a changeup. Atkinson peers into the UVU dugout, has the sign. Right-handed hitter, bent at the knees. The pitch, that one swung on and popped up. Right center field, shallow right center. Coming in as the right fielder, calling everybody off. Nathan Lukes makes the one-handed grab, and the inning is over. So the Wolverines get a hit. They strand 2, no runs. We head to the top of the second inning, no score. Here in Orem, you're listening to Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com. No score as we begin the top of the second inning here in Orem. Utah Valley, Sacramento State. In the midst of a 3-game WAC series. Leading things off for Sacramento State, it's Brandon Hunley, the second baseman. First pitch from the lefty on the mound for UVU, Jackson Kofer, misses down low, and it's 1-0. Playing maybe 2 or 3 steps onto the outfield grass at short is Bogdan. Fastball misses away. Now the count's 2-0. Just as that ball is thrown by Kofer, Bogdan creeps in to the edge of that infield dirt. 2-0. High and away, and it's 3-0. So 3 fastballs, and they have not been close. Jackson Kofer walked the leadoff man to begin this ball game, but stranded him at third base. 3-0 pitch. There's wow. That one missed somewhere. May have been a little low, says home plate umpire Jared Ferens. A 4-pitch walk to begin the second inning for Brandon Hunley. That looked pretty good from up here.
I mean, I guess maybe it misses a little bit low, but that's another one of those pitches. Jackson Kofer doesn't miss it by too much. Kind of one of those tough pitches there, but if you're, Hunley in that situation, it's a 3-0 count you're taking anyway, so it doesn't really hurt you if that's a strike if you're Hunley. So Kofer into his stretch once again, man at first. Ball misses up high. Bluffing a bunt was Scotty Burcham, pulled it back at the last minute. Bluffing a throw down to first base, Atkinson, but Hunley wasn't too far off first base. Burcham, a .290 hitter.
The lefty throws, shows bunt again. This fastball's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. You'll see the fastball from Kofor, and a lot of times it's easy to mistake it for a slider, but because it has a natural cut to it, cutting in to the right-handed hitter. Small lead at first for Hunley. Short lead, I should say. Kofor throws over there. Back in standing is Burcham. Hunley stolen 6 bags on the year. 6 for 6. Kofor checks the runner. Now comes home. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. And the count is 1-2 as that last pitch was called a strike. I believe he missed down low, but didn't see Jared Farron signal the strike call, but he did. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Burcham. The Wolverines would love a ground ball. Throw over to first base. Back in standing, Hunley. Kofor trying to keep that double play in order. Gothberg holds on the runner at first. The 1-2 pitch coming from Jackson Kofor. A curveball stays up high, and it's 2-2. Some cloud cover now. We begin this ball game under blue skies, but the sun behind a cloud now. The field in shade. That one swung on, ground ball to Gothberg. This could be 2. He backhands it, throws to second. Bogdan was going to go to first, but the pitcher, Kofor, wasn't there. Kofor tried to get over there as fast as he could, but he just couldn't quite make it. So a nice play by Spencer Gothberg to backhand that ball above his head, reach across his body, and then throw to second. And Bogdan was going to easily turn that double play, but Kofor just couldn't quite get to the first base bag in time. That ball was hit very hard. So it'll go down as a 3-6 fielder's choice. 1 out in the inning for Ryan Locke.
We saw Gothberg make a play similar to that in last night's ball game in a very similar situation where Danny Bettis tried to get back over in time to cover the bag, and he did, but the throw was late.
Locke, the right-handed hitter. The runner takes off. Great jump, and this one's chopped foul. I think the hit and run was on. However, had Locke just taken that pitch, Burcham would have stole second easily. He got an unbelievable jump on Kofor, the lefty.
You have to think after him going on that first pitch, Jackson Kofor is probably going to look to throw over to first here a little bit more the remaining of this at-bat.
And he does that right now. Burcham has stolen 8 bags this season. He's been caught once. The middle infield for the Wolverines, double play depth. Schlehuber playing behind the bag at third, near the line. Gothberg, of course, holding on. Burcham at first base. Kofor throws a fastball right in there at the knees, strike 2. So 0-2 to the Sac State designated hitter. 1 out, a man on first base, no score, top of the second inning. Kofor comes set. The 0-2 will not come as he checks on the runner at first again. Gunnar Pullman waiting on deck for Sacramento State. Locke has had 15 at-bats this season, has yet to have a base hit. Curveball misses down low to him. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a strikeout situation here for the Wolverines, though I think they would prefer a nice ground ball, a made-to-order double play ball. 1-2. Fastball misses off the plate outside, and it's 2-2. With a guy who's 0 for 15 at the plate, you really want to go right at him. Kofor does not want to throw a ball here and run the count full. That would provide the base runner with a way to jump and steal. But he does just that, as that fastball missed way down and in, not close. And the count is full to Ryan Locke. So let's see if Burcham takes off. Very short lead at first base, held on by Gothberg. Kofor checks him, working quickly. He does take off. The pitch misses though, ball 4. Fastball up and away, and Kofor walks the 8th place hitter. So here's the 7th place hitter. Here's Gunnar Pullman with runners on first and second. Gothberg will come in from first base to talk to the lefty, as will Jake Atkinson from behind home plate. Just a quick word.
I mean, the good thing here if you're Kofor is you're a ground ball from getting out of the inning, but that's your 3rd walk here in the 2nd inning. And you don't want to help Sacramento State get base runners, or any team get base runners for that matter. And we've seen in the past those walks that Utah Valley surrendered last weekend to Chicago State came back to hurt them.
So here's Pullman hitting from the right side. A 200 average even, right at that Mendoza line. Pitch to him, the right-handed hitter takes a ball that maybe just missed off the outside. Pretty good pitch. 1 ball, no strikes to Gunnar Pullman. Ryan Locke at first base, Scotty Burcham at second. 1 away here in the top of the 2nd inning. No score. Kofor comes set just above the belt, now kicks and throws. Swung on, chopper to the first base side. That's going to get into right field past the diving Zach Fuller. Coming around third base. The throw is in line, but not in time. Scoring is Burcham, and it's 1-0 Hornets.
There's one of those walks that, don't come back to affect you directly because Burcham got on via the fielder's choice, but those additional base runners just come back there to hurt you. A nice solid base hit. Kruger comes up with a good throw, but just not able to get the speed of Burcham at home plate.
Yeah, just a hard chopper through that right side. Fuller dove to his left as he was playing up towards the middle with the right-hander at the plate, but couldn't come up with the, I want to call it a ground ball, but really just, chopper through that right side. So here is P.J. Floyd, the left-handed hitter, wide open stance. Runners on first and second, still 1 out in the inning. The pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul off to the left side, way out of play. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Floyd went 0 for 3 last night. He struck out once, walked once. Floyd does an interesting stance. His heel is almost out of the batter's box, a wide open stance, but as Kofor comes into his delivery, that front foot steps toward the pitcher. 0-1 coming. Fastball, check swing. Did he go around? An appeal to the third base umpire, Joe Maiden. He says he did not. And Maiden has a better look than we do. He's playing just to the left with runners on, just to the left of the pitcher's mound. He said he did not go around. It was close. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pullman at first, Locke at second. Locke was not able to advance to third on that ground ball through the right side. The pitch. Fastball misses in. I say a fastball. I think that one was a curveball.
And the thing is, if you're Jackson Kofor here, you can't let the one run that's scored, you can't let that shake your entire outing here. You have to just settle back in. You're doing some good things, but it'd be easy after the Chicago State outing to be like, oh, here they go again. You can't have that mentality for Kofor.
2-1 pitch misses away, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Kofor, the Wolverines trying to prevent, I should say, Sacramento State from putting up a crooked number here. They put up 1 in the inning. They lead 1-0. 2 men on, 1 man out. Top of the 2nd. 3-1 pitch coming to Floyd. He takes it for a strike, a fastball right there, and the count is full. Top of the order, the leadoff man, Kyle Moses, waiting on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see if the runners get a start here. Pullman the man at first, Locke at second. 3-2 pitch coming to the left-handed hitting Floyd. Fastball swung on, line drive right at the shortstop. Bogdan goes to second and doubles off Locke, and the inning is over. So the Wolverines, all things considered, get out of the inning without much damage being done. 1 hit, 2 left, 1 run for the Hornets. They lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. You're listening to Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com. head to the bottom of the second inning. The Wolverines trail 1-0. It will be Craig Brinkerhoff, Andy Perkins, and Jordan Schlehuber, 6, 7, and 8 for Utah Valley. What a big double play there for the Wolverines to get out of the top of the second. I mentioned that the Hornets left 2 men on. I beg your pardon. They only left 1 on as the man was doubled off second base. Here's the first pitch from Sam Long. Catches the outside corner. Strike 1 to Brinkerhoff. Long, the lefty, working quickly from the windup. Fastball misses down, 1-1. It was a huge double play for many reasons. None other than the true leadoff man for the Hornets was waiting on deck. 1-1 pitch, line drive into center field. Going back is Moses. He'll make a backhanded grab as that one hung up there for him. So a hard hit ball off the bat of Brinkerhoff, but one away in the second for Andy Perkins.
A hard hit ball just hit right at somebody, and there's not much you can do for Craig Brinkerhoff there. You hit the ball hard, but in that case, Kyle Moses playing perfectly positioned there in center field.
Yeah, Brinkerhoff went 2 for 4 last night with a couple of runs batted in, so he's seeing the ball well right now. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Andy Perkins, catches the outside corner. A fastball in there for a strike. 1-0, Sacramento State leading Utah Valley. Curveball. And that one just stayed up high. Pretty good pitch there from Sam Long. Had some nice break on it. The windup, the 1-1. Fastball swung on and fouled back to the screen. The count is 1-2. Good-sized crowd on hand tonight for a Saturday evening ball game between these two. It is a ball game, right? We're going with that, yeah.
I think it just happens to work for the occasion there, Jordan.
Ball misses low, and it's 2-2. I mentioned the cloud cover coming out after that top of the first, so shady infield. Here's a chopper, slow roller, or chopper I should say, to the right side, throwing over, covering the bag as the pitcher safe. He couldn't get there. Andy Perkins is in with a base hit, an infield hit, as Esposito, the first baseman, fielded it, but Long just couldn't get to the bag in time. He never touched the first base bag, so the Wolverines have a man on with 1 out.
That's one of those situations where it's a foot race between the hitter and the pitcher, and Sam Long got there pretty quick, but Andy Perkins has good speed, and he just busts down the baselines, able to beat him out.
Yeah, Long was trying to stab at that bag with his right foot, and he just couldn't reach it. So Perkins with a short lead at first, held on by Esposito. Here's the right-handed hitting Schlehuber. Ball misses way up high, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. We'll see if Schlehuber has the bunt on here. A 168 hitter on the season, 10 runs batted in for him, has yet to find that groove at the plate. Perkins with his lead, now a toss over there from Sam Long. Count 1 ball, no strikes to the UVU third baseman. He peers into the dugout, now has the sign, bent at the knees from the right side. Schlehuber waiting. Long has what he wants, comes set. The pitch, fastball up high, 2-0, and we never saw the bunt from Jordan Schlehuber. Zach Fuller waiting on deck.
Schlehuber's been having a couple of good swings here so far to this point, so it's going to be interesting to see here exactly what he does.
Fastball misses up high, and now it's 3-0 to Jordan Schlehuber. So the last thing you want to do here if you're Sam Long is walk the 8th place hitter who's hitting 168. Schlehuber, I imagine, will be taking all the way here. 3-0. Perkins with his lead at first. He does take, and a strike just catches the outside corner, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Long from the stretch, has the sign, the 3-1. Fastball, he poured it in there at 87, and the count is full. A man on, a man out. Bottom of the second inning. The Wolverines trail 1-0. So full count to Schlehuber, who's yet to take the bat off his shoulder. Runner takes off. That one swung on and hit into center field. Going back, now coming in a few steps and making the grab is Kyle Moses, playing it perfectly. And they're 2 away for Zach Ford. Shalay Huber gave that ball a pretty good ride, but ultimately just a can of corn out there in the vast spaces of center field here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Zach Ford, the right-handed hitter, stepping up there. Ford hitting .224. He's been seeing the ball well of late, though. First pitch fastball swung on and fouled off to the right side. Andy Perkins singled with 1 out in this inning. He is still at first base. Held on over there by Vinny Esposito. Short lead for Perkins. The pitch now showing bunt is Fuller, and he bunts it back off the rooftop, and it's 0-2 to him. So looking to bunt for a base hit there, catch the third baseman P.J. Floyd, who's playing just behind the bag at third off guard, but Fuller couldn't get the bunt down. So now it's 0-2. And Sam Long is 1 strike away from getting out of this second inning. He's allowed 2 hits in the first 2 innings. Combined, no runs. Hornets lead 1-0. Fastball misses outside. Snap throw down to first is in the dirt. A nice job by Esposito just to keep that ball in front of him. Diving headlong back into the bag at first base was Perkins.
Esposito keeps that ball in front of him. If not, that gets down the line, and that's an easy free base there for Andy Perkins.
Yeah, if that gets down the line, Perkins may have gone to third on that. Slightly open stance from the right side for Fuller. 1-2 pitch to him. Curveball. Ooh, just missed a bit outside. Maybe crossed him a bit high, but a pretty pitch there. Nice 1-2. And the count's even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fuller's job here, just move the line along. Kate Andrus and the top of the order is on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball, base hit up into center field. Perkins will stop at second base wisely. Coming in to field it was Moses. Thrown to the shortstop, but a nice at bat there by Zach Fuller. Went right back up the middle, and there are 2 men on with 2 out for Kate Andrus.
And I don't think there's another hitter right now in this Utah Valley lineup that you want coming up here than the man leading your club in RBIs in Kate Andrus.
Absolutely. Andrus with 25 of those runs batted in. 3 home runs on the season. He hit one last night over the Pepsi sign in left center field. Andrus singled in the first. 2 men on, 2 men out. Long, the lefty, checks the runners, now delivers. Breaking ball in there on the outside corner, strike 1. Mark Kruger waiting on deck. We'll see with runners on first and second how Long pitches Andrus. He challenged him there with the lefty, Kruger, coming up next. Fastball misses up high, and it's 1-1. I imagine he'll be pretty careful, though. You can't be too careful with runners on first and second.
And really, I mean, even though it's a lefty-lefty matchup, I don't really know if you really want to face Mark Kruger with the bases loaded. But, I mean, I guess if you're that confident in the lefty-lefty matchup, Long on the year, you know, pitching, you know, hit left-handed hits.
Curveball misses. No, strike called, and I don't think Andrus was very happy with that call. That looked to be an inch or 2 off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kate Andrus. He spits on his palms, rubs them together. Big Poppy style. The right-handed hitter steps back in there, bent at the knees, holding that bat out in front of home plate. 2 men on, 2 men out. The pitch, he check swings. He went around, says the home plate umpire, Jared Ferens, and that's unbelievable. Andrus will head back to the dugout, and Ferens warns someone in the dugout for UVU to quit chirping. That, we don't have the best vantage point up here, but Ferens could have at least checked with the third base umpire, Joe Maiden. Kate Andrus did not look like he went around there. Wow.
No, and I mean, it looked very similar to the call that Sacramento State got. I mean, very similar to the sense, but just the opposite left-handed hitter in the batter's box where they say he didn't go. Anders kind of in that similar situation. It doesn't look like that he went around, but apparently he did.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what we think. Matters what Jared Ferentz thinks. So 2 hits, 2 left, no runs for the Wolverines in the second. We head to the third, 1-0. Hornets lead here on WolverineGreen.com. We head to the top of the third inning. Back out on the mound for the Wolverines, it's Jackson Kofer. He will face the top of the order, Kyle Moses, Vinny Esposito, and Nathan Lukes. Sacramento State leads it 1-0, and to tell you all about it, here's Ryan Pickens.
Kofer delivers the first pitch low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Moses, Esposito, and Lukes, top of the Sacramento State lineup, coming up with the Hornets leading at 1-0. Kofer delivers set. That one grounded in the hole. Schlehuber going to come up, field it, quick throw across the diamond in time to get the quick Kyle Moses, and there's 1 out here in the third. So a good play by Schlehuber to come over in the hole, cut it off, and then make the throw across the diamond. So with 1 out, Vinny Esposito is going to come to the plate. Esposito grounded out to short in his first at-bat back in the first inning. Kofer and the pitcher's mound now covered in shade as he sets and delivers the first pitch. That one low in the dirt for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Nathan Lukes, the right fielder, in on the on-deck circle for Sacramento State. Kofer working from the far left side of the mound, delivers the 1-0 pitch. That one gets off the glove of Atkinson into the backstop, and the count runs even to 1 ball and 1 strike. Craig Brinkerhoff in center field, playing more towards that left center field gap. Esposito at the plate, so a big hole out in right center. The 2-0 pitch on its way home. That one stays high again, ball 3, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes on Esposito. Esposito hitting .233 so far here on the season. Kofer's going to be forced to come into the plate here with a 3-0 count. And he delivers the 3-0 pitch. That one misses outside, ball 4. So Jackson Kofer allows his 4th walk of the evening. And with 1 out, Vinny Esposito's on for Nathan Lukes. Lukes in his first at-bat grounded out to Zach Fuller at second. So we'll get a lefty-lefty matchup here. Lukes has reached base in 32 straight. That is so far all the season games this season for Sacramento State. Kofer set and delivers home the first pitch. Swung on and missed. Lukes took a cut and came up empty. No balls and a strike. Running over at first base is Vinny Esposito. Gothberg going to hold him on, playing him to pull a little bit here as Fuller's moved over more into that middle of the hole there. So a hole up the middle for Lukes, who has that open stance. Looks like he's going to try to pull the ball. The 0-1 pitch blocked by Atkinson in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Quickly throwing his hand up there was Lukes to let Esposito know at first that the ball's right in front of home plate, so Esposito wouldn't try to take off. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. From the stretch, Kofer comes set on the mound. And he'll throw over to first. Esposito dives back safely. 1-0 Sacramento State. They got their 1 run back in the second inning. So we're here in the top of the third at Brent Brown Ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike. The delivery home. That was swung on by Lukes and popped high up. Going out into shallow right center field. Zach Fuller is there, and he'll make the play, and there's 2 away in the 4th. So a high pop-up that Lukes hit into the evening sky here with the clouds coming in. Fuller was able just to drift back and make the play, and with 2 outs, Chris Lewis comes to the plate. Lewis is 0 for 1, went down on strikes back in his first attempt against Kofer to give Jackson Kofer his first strikeout of the evening. Kofor set on the mound, takes a long look over Esposito. He'll throw over and back safely. Esposito standing up. Cade Andrus playing about a step or two off the warning track out and left for Utah Valley, playing very deep with Lewis at the plate. Kofor will throw over again. Esposito back standing. Esposito not getting a huge lead over at first, maybe kind of a very conservative lead. Kofor takes another long look and he'll throw over for the third time, and Esposito back standing again. Lewis gets ready to go, right back in the box, 2 down. Kofor will kick and come home this time. Lewis swings first pitch and drives it foul down the left field line, just kind of hit a grounder down the line, and Brayton Poole will go run down all the way to the warning track and get the baseball. No balls and 1 strike to count on Chris Lewis. Lewis stands back in, gets set. Esposito gets a decent lead, kind of moving the feet around over at first. The 0-1 and then pickoff move. Esposito back standing again. Kofor's thrown over 4 times in this at-bat to Esposito. Esposito 1 stolen base on the season in 2 attempts. No balls and a strike. Kofor set. And Wines delivers home. That one swung on, popped up. Down the right field line, Kruger coming in, Fuller going out. It's going to be Kruger in from right. He'll make the catch, and the top of the third comes to an end. So Sacramento State gets the 1 base runner on the walk, but they strand him. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Mark Kruger leads off after the break here on WolverineGreen.com. 1-0 Sacramento State. Back here on WolverineGreen.com, bottom of the 3rd inning from Brent Brown Ballpark, 1-0 Sacramento State. Utah Valley's been able to find ways to get men on base, but haven't been able to produce any runs against left-hander Sam Long, who will begin the 3rd inning. He'll get 2, 3, and 4. Mark Kruger, Grayson Bogdan, Spencer Gothberg. Kruger 0 for 1, went down on strike, swinging back in his first at-bat, and he'll take a breaking ball that kind of settles in at the knees at 71 miles an hour. Long just dropping that slow curveball in. Long ready to go again, sends the 0-1 pitch home, swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Kruger will take a step out of the box here, try to regain his thoughts before he steps back in. Outfield straight away for Sacramento State, infield ready to go as well at their normal depth. 0-2 pitch on its way. Swung on and missed. It's going to get to the backstop. Pullman's going to have to get to it quickly as it caroms over towards the Utah Valley dugout. And so Mark Kruger reaches here to open up the 3rd. So Utah Valley able to fortunate on the strikeout wild pitch or pass ball that gets Mark Kruger down to first here. We'll have to wait and see here whether they give him a pass ball or a wild pitch. It looks like it just got away, and they're going to say a wild pitch, so they're going to credit that to Sam Long. And here comes Grayson Bogdan. Bogdan flew out to right in his first at-bat. Kruger with a pretty good lead at first. Long takes a look over, delivers that one, and that sets in there about belt high for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Kruger 4 for 5 this season on stolen base attempts. Bogdan will take a step out, look over into the third base dugout, and get some direction here from Coach Eric Madsen. Long takes a look over at Kruger, delivers home the 0-1 pitch. Bogdan grounds that one past the third baseman, Floyd into left field. Kruger takes the turn at second, he'll head into third. Bogdan going for two, the throw into third, gets past it all the way to home plate. Long quickly there to cut it off, and Utah Valley's got a couple of men in scoring position with nobody out for Spencer Gothberg on a Grayson Bogdan double. And Spencer Gothberg going to come to the plate here with a couple of men on. Looking to try to see if he can tie the game with the runner being 90 feet from home. Grayson Bogdan will be the runner at second base, as Bogdan just put that one down the line, and PJ Floyd dove and tried to get there and just didn't come up with it. And it rolled pretty much right down the left field line. It was a long run for Lewis from left field. By the time he got there, Kruger was all the way getting to third base, and the throw just came through all the way to home. So Gothberg walked in his first at-bat, stands in. He had 2 walks last night to go along with a couple of hits. Gothberg will stand in as they'll get set and ready to go. The left-hander Long on the mound, delivers home. The first pitch, that one blocked by Pullman behind the plate, and it's 1-0. Pullman will try to do everything he can in this situation, particularly with the runners on 90 feet away from scoring, to make sure that any ball in the dirt gets behind him, or make sure that he keeps it in front of him. The pitch, that one low again, a good block by Pullman, as Long misses low again for ball 2, and it's 2-0 to Gothberg. Jake Atkinson on deck for Utah Valley, wearing the green tops and the white pants. Sacramento State again tonight in the road gray. 2 balls and no strikes. Working from the stretch, the 2-0 pitch comes home. Gothberg's gonna chop that one high up over Floyd's head into left field. Kruger scores. Right behind him is Grayson Bogdan. He will score, and Utah Valley is taking a 2-1 lead on a 2-run single by Spencer Gothberg. Another just high chopper. PJ Floyd didn't have it couldn't even really make an attempt on that one, as it was just pretty much straight up in the air, and Floyd looked at it and just had to turn his head and watch it fly over his head. And now with nobody out, Jake Atkinson stands in. So a clutch RBI by Gothberg. Credit him with RBIs 18 and 19 on the season. And it's 2-1 Utah Valley with nobody out here in the third. Atkinson 0 for 1, flew out to right in his first at-bat. The delivery comes home, runner goes. This throw down is going to be in on a hop. Did they get him? No, they did not get Spencer Gothberg. The throw looked like it beat him, but I think Gothberg got his hand on the outer part of the bag before the tag was applied. And so now a 1-0 count on Atkinson puts another runner in scoring position in Spencer Gothberg. Utah Valley did a great job last night of hitting with runners on base, and the pitch comes in there at about the knees to Gothberg, and it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Long will throw a fastball, curveball, and a changeup. And we've seen him mix in those pitches all night, including that slow kind of curveball that will be dropped in there to, in the 70s. 1-1 pitch on its way, and Atkinson chased. Getting off second was Gothberg, and then he had to scurry back quickly as Pullman had kept that one right in front of him. But luckily for Gothberg, Hunley and Burcham weren't at the bag, and so quickly scurrying back and diving head first was Gothberg. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Atkinson. Atkinson with his knees bent in the batter's box. Delivers the 1-2 pitch. That one bounces. That one gets past Pullman. That's going to kick over to the dugout, and they're going to quickly call time, as moving down to third is going to be Spencer Gothberg. They'll call time to hold Gothberg at third as the ball went into, it looks like it went into the Sacramento State dugout. So Jared Ferentz quickly calling time, holding his hands up to make sure Gothberg stayed at third base. And that is the third pitch we've seen well, maybe not even the third, but a majority of Sam Long's pitches here have been in the dirt. Pullman's trying to get down and keep as many of them in front of him as he can. They'll credit the wild pitch, the second of the inning. 2-2 pitch comes home. That's grounded up the middle. Fielded by Hundley. The throw to first in time, but coming in to score from third is Gothberg, and it's 3-1 Utah Valley here in the third. So that's a good piece of hitting by Jake Atkinson to understand that he didn't really necessarily need to get a hit there to get the run home. There he just puts a ground ball up the middle, and that was able to bring Spencer Gothberg home from third. And so now with one out, Craig Brinkerhoff stands in. Brinkerhoff 0 for 1, flew out to center, shows bunt, pulls it back and takes a strike as P.J. Floyd was playing back his normal depth. Brinkerhoff tried to surprise him there with the bunt. Long delivers the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Brinkerhoff just a tad out in front. And now no balls and 2 strikes to Craig Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff having a 2-hit game last night. Also had a walk. The 0-2 pitch, that one misses with the fastball, ball 1. It's now 1-2. Brinkerhoff keeping that back foot deep in the box. The front foot's opened up out towards the other side, the far backside of the batter's box as he fouls that one away, and it's 1-2. So Utah Valley once again using a big inning here to open up the lead, similar to what they did last night on the Hornets. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3, and the second out of the inning, and the second strikeout of the game for Sam Long, and there's 2 outs, and here comes the designated hitter, Andy Perkins. Perkins had a single back in the second and then got stranded on the base paths. Perkins was one of the only starters last night for Utah Valley to come away without a hit. Hit earlier on raised his batting average up to .314. The lefty versus lefty matchup as Long delivers the first pitch low and away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Perkins quickly gets back in the box, and the 1-0 pitch fired in here from Long. That one swung on, taken to left field. Going back is Lewis. He's going to be on the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch for the third out of the inning, but the damage is done by Utah Valley. The Wolverines add 3, including a 2-run single by Spencer Gothberg at the end of 3 from Brent Brown Ballpark. It's Utah Valley 3 and the Sacramento State Hornets 1. You are watching Utah Valley University Baseball on WolverineGreen.com. The start of the top of the 4th inning here on WolverineGreen.com. Sacramento State coming up. Brandon Hundley, Scotty Burcham, Ryan Locke, 5, 6, and 7 due up against Jackson Kofer, who so far tonight's pitched well through his 3 innings, allowed 1 hit, the 1 run which was earned, has walked 4, but so far through his 53 pitches, he's been able to keep the bats relatively quiet here for Sacramento State. And the first pitch home to Hundley misses off the plate, 1 ball and no strikes. Hundley had a pair of walks in last night's ball game. Started off his 2nd inning with a walk. The 1-0 pitch on its way. That one grounded right back off the glove of Kofer. It's going to be knocked out to Bogdan. Quick throw to first in time. So what appeared to be a first, a base hit taken away as the ball just knocked off the glove of Kofer. And right there to make the play was Grayson Bogdan, and there's 1 away in the 4th. So it will be a 1-6-3 As it goes off Kofer's glove right to Bogdan. With 1 out, Scotty Burcham comes to the plate. Burcham reached on a fielder's choice and then came around to score in the second. Kofer winds and delivers, and there's a pitch that stays high above the belt. Came about letter high there, and it's 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Kofer delivers home, and that one swung on line right back up the middle. That's going to fall for a base hit. So Kofer there missed his spot, and that one was put up in the strike zone, and Scotty Burcham's on his first hit of the series. And now that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Ryan Locke. Locke also walked in his only at-bat tonight. Still looking for that first hit of the season is Locke. Locke will stand in from the right side. Wears number 30. Kofer will take a step off the mound here and now step back on. Locke is 0 for his first 15. Does have 4 walks on the season. And the pitch home to Locke, breaking ball that stays high for a ball, and it's 1-0. 74-mile-an-hour breaking pitch that just didn't have much break over the strike zone as it stayed up above the letters. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Kofer takes a long look over to Burcham at first. Burcham with good speed. That pitch comes, Locke's going to roll it over and foul over into the third base coach's box. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Sacramento State coach fields the ball, tosses it into the stands for some kids sitting along the grass berm that goes down the third baseline, stretches all the way out in the left center field here at Brent Brown Ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Kofer's going to throw over. Back is Burcham. Burcham on the season is 8 for 9 in stolen bases. The senior's been able to find his way to steal some bases so far this season. 1 ball and 1 strike. The delivery comes home. That one swung on by Locke and put out into the gap. Burcham's going to take the turn around second. He'll get to third. The relay throw into Grayson Bogdan as Locke slides into second. His first hit of the season is a double, and Sacramento State now with a couple of men in scoring position for the catcher, Gunnar Pullman. So a hard hit ball that just was split the outfielders, now turns 2 men into scoring position for Gunnar Pullman. Pullman had an RBI single in his last at-bat. Now we'll look to try to add to that total here against Jackson Kofer. Cooper Fouts positioning the defense as he takes a step out of the third base dugout. Brinkerhoff takes a couple of steps more over into left center field. Kofer working here from the stretch. Gothberg playing in on the grass, and the first pitch home to Pullman is taken for a called strike. 81-mile-an-hour changeup, and it's 0-1. Pullman did not play last night, making his first appearance here in the series. No balls and 1 strike. Up the middle, Bogdan and Fuller back in their regular defensive position. So a ground ball up the middle. Utah Valley will take the out for the run. There's a line drive right out to Kruger. Kruger makes the catch. Runner's tagging. The throw is going to be cut off by Gothberg, and coming in to score is Burcham. They're going to throw a peel down to third, but they're going to say the runner did wait, and so the run will count there. As Scotty Burcham comes in to score on the sacrifice fly. Locke had to hold at second. Brinkerhoff has a good arm out there, and so being able to, that ball was hit right at Mark Kruger, and then Kruger just kind of took a step and was able to just line up his throw, but the throw just kind of came in on a hop and not in time to get Burcham with his speed. So here's P.J. Floyd to step up. Floyd lined into a double play. Kofer takes a look at Locke at second base, and the pitch home to Floyd swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Kofer looks like there he went with the cutter and just kind of cut it away from Floyd. Floyd hit a hard ball in his last at-bat, just hit it right at Grayson Bogdan, and the runner on at second base was Ryan Locke. And Locke broke immediately for third off the bat. But with the ball hit by right at Bogdan, he was kind of a sitting duck as Floyd fouls that one down onto the berm, and the chase is on. As 5 or 6 kids go running for the baseball. No balls and 2 strikes on P.J. Floyd. Floyd fought back in the count last time he was up. 0 for 3 last night. 0 for 4 so far in the series. That front foot of Floyd's almost out of the batter's box. 0-2 pitch, Sun breaks through, and the pitch comes home. Good block by Atkinson, as that pitch was down and out of the zone, and Atkinson was able to keep it in front of him. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 4th inning. 3-2 Utah Valley. Sacramento State with 1 run in here in the inning. Locke gets his lead on at second base. Kofer set, takes a look at Locke, and comes home with the 1-2 pitch. That was swung on, popped up. Down the third baseline, Andrus coming in over from left. He is going to make the catch in foul territory down past the bullpen, and the 4th inning comes to a close. But Sacramento State does add 1 on a sacrifice fly from Gunnar Pullman. He's got 2 RBIs. The Wolverines coming up, looking to answer. We'll find out what they do here on WolverineGreen.com. Utah Valley 3, Sacramento State 2.
All right, fans, cheer them on.
Here at Brent Brown Ballpark, bottom of the 4th inning. Utah Valley coming up. It'll be Jordan Schlehuber, Zach Fuller, Cade Andrus, 8, 9, and 1. And 3 hitters coming up that have been seeing the baseball really well for Utah Valley. Schlehuber a couple of hits last night, 0 for 1 tonight. Long delivers the first pitch. That hits the outside corner. It's 0-1. Long flew out to center, Schlehuber flew out to center in his first at-bat. Sam Long, the pitcher for Sacramento State, has yet to bat. Schlehuber lines that one out to right. Getting back there and making the play is Lukes, and there's 1 away. Sam Long, of course, the pitcher, and Sacramento State using the DH, so he won't hit tonight so far anyway, but we'll wait and see as the game progresses. And with 1 away, Zach Fuller comes to the plate. Fuller 1 for 1 tonight, had a single in his last at-bat in the second on a hard hit ball that went right up the middle. Long delivers, and there's a fastball that stays right about letter high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 pitch on its way home, and that one's going to be a ball, and it's 2-0. The sun breaking through as it begins to set in the right field over the first base grandstand here. Fuller hits that one to left. Going back is Lewis to the warning track, to the wall. That ball is gone. Home run for Zach Fuller. He's been seeing the baseball well, and he has just enough to get that one out to give Utah Valley a 4-2 lead. Not the hardest hit baseball. Fuller's first home run of the year, RBI number 10. It wasn't the hardest hit ball, but it just had enough to get up and over the wall. And from my vantage point here, it doesn't look like it caught over by very much. And here comes back to the top of the lineup in Cade Andrus, and a called strike on the outside corner. And Cade quickly turns, as it doesn't look like he was happy with that outside pitch call. And so it's 0-1, and some of that probably coming from that last at-bat with that check swing that he got called out on. 0-1 pitch on its way. That one swung on, fouled back by Andrus, and it's 0-2. Andrus will step back in the box here. Shadows on most of the left side of the infield, but you get out towards that left field spot, and Lewis, having that sun, is setting right on his eyes. The 0-2 pitch misses away for a ball, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A quick worker, Sam Long, gets the baseball, delivers home the 1-2 pitch. That one low, ball 2, 2-2. Both these pitchers tonight working relatively quickly. You know, getting the baseball, not really going off the mound too much, and just kind of getting the ball to sign and throwing home again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long will get a new baseball, but staying right on the mound the entire time was Long. The 2-2 pitch coming home. Andrus takes on the outside for ball 3, and it's 3-2. That's a close pitch there for Cade Andrus to take, but there he gets the call in his favor, and the count goes full 3-2. Long set, delivers the 3-2 pitch, swung on and foul tipped in the glove for strike 3. And with 2 outs in the inning, Mark Kruger will come to the plate here in the 4th. That is the 3rd strikeout of the day for Long. 2nd out here in the 4th, and Mark Kruger, who has technically struck out twice but reached last time on the wild pitch, stands in. That was swung on by Mark and hit out to right. Lukes is right there though, and this out is recorded on the flyout. So Utah Valley adds 1 here in the 4th on the home run by Zach Fuller, his first of the season, and that gives the Utah Valley Wolverines a 4-2 lead at the end of 4 from Brent Brown Ballpark. Wolverines 4, Hornets 2. You're watching Utah Valley University Baseball on WolverineGreen.com.
Every country refreshes the world, locally refreshing for the Utah County Community Action Food Banking Services. Wakita NC, Community College is across the street from UU. Remember Wakita NC, and the starter, thank you, discounted rate, and always wake up on Red Sox.
We move to the top of the 5th inning here on WolverineGreen.com. A fairly quick ball game this evening, as coming up it's going to be the top of the Sacramento State lineup. Their 3rd time going through Jackson Kofor. And here with the play-by-play, the call of the night is Jordan Bianucci. Jordan?
Thanks very much, Ryan. So the Wolverines leading 4-2 as we begin the 5th. First pitch is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and it's 0-1 to Kyle Moses. Moses, of course, as Ryan mentioned, the true leadoff man. He is 0 for 1. He walked back in the 1st inning and was stranded, ended up being stranded at 3rd base. Takes a ball low here from Kofor, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike to him. From the windup, the lefty throws. Swung on and lifted into shallow right field, giving chases forward. He's not going to get there. It's going to fall in between Kruger and Fuller with a bloop base hit off the bat of Kyle Moses, and the Hornets have something cooking here in the 5th inning. Moses did a nice job. That ball was just on the outside part of the plate, and he just dropped the head on it, and it carried just past the reach of Zach Fuller, and the leadoff man is on for Sacramento State. Esposito, hitting from the right side now, will come up. Kofor wants a new baseball. Esposito, he's 0 for 1. He grounded out back in the 1st inning and walked in the 3rd. Four walks already this evening for Jackson Kofor. The lefty into his stretch, checks the runner at first. He throws. Fastball right there on the outside corner, strike 1. Esposito hitting .233 in the season. 2 homers, 13 runs batted in. He struck out, however, 25 times. 0-1. Check swing, he went around. A fastball that had great cut on it, down and into the right-hander, and it's quickly 0-2 to Vinny Esposito. Nathan Lukes waiting on deck, the left-handed hitter. Kofor, the lefty, offering to the right-handed hitter. Now will throw to first base, back in standing, is Moses. Wolverines getting their runs in chunks. They scored 3 in the third and then 1 in the fourth inning as the ball misses down low. The count is 1-2. The 1 run coming off a Zach Fuller home run. However, the Hornets scored 1 in the second and 1 in the fourth. Just manufacturing some runs. Stitching together some base hits. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, chopped to third base. Schlehuber gave chase, but it's 10 or 12 feet foul. And the count remains at 1-2.
Esposito's done a great job in staying in there and just kind of fouling those pitches off. He's had a couple of those ones with late movement on it too from Kofer. And so to make contact with that last one, especially with that late cut, a pretty good piece of hitting there by Esposito.
We'll see what Kofer comes with here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Everybody straight away for the Wolverines. Fuller, the second baseman, playing a hair up the middle. The pitch. Curveball missed inside, and the count's even at 2-2. The sun has peeked out from behind the clouds. It was overcast for most of this game, but and it looked like dark clouds were accumulating. It looked like we might see some precipitation, but right now it looks pretty nice. 2-2 pitch, fastball misses away, so the count is full. So nice job by Vinny Esposito to battle back here. Bent at the knees, swinging that bat out in front of home plate. A short lead at first base, held on by Gothberg. Moses over there, a throw over. Moses back in standing. In between innings, during the innings, I was watching the ball game, Ryan, but I went to get some food, and the line is long, my friend. Took about 2 innings to get through that thing. Well worth the wait. The chicken tenders. 3-2 pitch, runner takes off, missed down low, so it won't matter. It's a walk. The ball goes into center field, however. Advancing from second to third will be Moses. So UVU, all they had to do was keep the ball in front of them. It was ball 4. Moses was going to take second base, but now there are runners on the corners as that ball trickled into center field. It's going to be an error on Jake Atkinson, the throwing error. So now runners on the corners for Nathan Lukes, Sacramento State's best hitter, and Dave Carter's going to come out and have a word with Jackson Kofer. Nobody getting warm in the pen for UVU.
I think that might just be understanding you do have a young catcher behind home plate, but that's a throw, like you said, Jordan, that they don't need to throw down there, and by throwing it, they force the baseball and they throw it into center field, which is not a situation you want now to put runners on the corners for a dangerous hitter, Nathan Lukes. Luke's a great hitter here in the WAC, having a great season, hitting .368 on the season. Much less, he's only hitting .241 with runners in scoring position. But you got a young pitcher, young catcher, and this is, I think, a great visit by Dave Carter just to make sure everybody's on the same page, especially with Luke's coming up in this situation. This might be one of those moments where, Coach Carter's out there just making sure that everybody knows exactly what to expect.
Absolutely. I think Atkinson may argue that even though it was ball 4, it was close, it was outside, and you didn't want to take the chance that it would be called strike 3 and you wouldn't get a throw down. But if you are Jake behind the plate, you just have to make a good throw. On the other end, Zach Fuller, if you're Zach Fuller or Bogdan covering the bag, you got to get that body in front of it, no matter how bad that throw is, and try and keep that ball from going into center field. Here's the pitch to Lukes. He shows bunt. The ball missed inside as Lukes just barely pulled that bunt back in time, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. We'll see if Esposito takes off from first base. Gothberg playing in front of him and to the left. He stayed put on that last pitch. Runners on the corners, nobody out. The pitch, that one, down and away, and it's 2-0.
A great job by Jake Atkinson. That's a pitch coming away that he just gets down and blocks. If that ball gets by him, then easily coming in to score is Kyle Moses with good speed from third.
Yeah, that's that fastball, and it's a 4-seam fastball that Jackson Kofer throws. But that one had that cut on it. And as you mentioned, Ryan, yeah, great job by Atkinson to get in front of it. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, base hit left side. Right where Bogdan would have been playing, but he was shaded well up the middle playing the lefty. 1 run comes in to score. It's a 4-3 ball game. UVU still leading, but 2 men are on and still nobody out in the 5th.
And Nathan Lukes now has reached base in 33 straight games. All of Sacramento State's games this year, he's been able to reach base.
That's impressive. That is to say the least. So Moses comes in to score. Moving to second base is Esposito. Here's Chris Lewis with 2 men on. Still no one out in the inning. The Wolverines clinging to a 4-3 lead. Gothberg again playing in at the edge of the grass. With nobody out, we'll see if a bunt is on, but Lewis, the cleanup hitter, you'd expect to swing away. Fastball misses away, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. And now a right-hander begins to get loose in the UVU bullpen. Kofer, who has looked sharp for the most part this evening. He's walked a few batters, but now he's given up 3 runs on 5 hits. The pitch. That one swung on, line drive, base hit, left center field. Coming around third, Esposito, he should score easily. Here comes a throw. It'll be cut off by Bogdan, and we are tied at 4.
That's just another hit there by Sacramento State where there's nothing you can do if you're Utah Valley. That's just well placed out in the gap, and that's a hard hit ball. And if you're Jackson Kofer now, this is really when you need to bear down, get an out. Whether it's a strikeout or a fly out, anything here to get an out, to get a little momentum coming to your side, you really need to, as Hunter Smith, the right-hander, gets loose in the bullpen.
And that's going to do it for Jackson Kofer. So Kofer goes 4+, gives up 4 runs on 6 hits. We'll see. There's one error, so I beg your pardon. That should be 3 runs, 3 earned runs on 6 hits. But his night is over. So the new man coming in from the bullpen, we'll see who it is. We'll take a break here on WolverineGreen.com. Wolverines 4, Hornets 4. You're listening to Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com.
Back here on WolverineGreen.com, top of the 5th inning, Sacramento State adding a couple of runs to tie this ball game at 4. They've chased Jackson Kofer, although the runner's on base, still his responsibility as the right-hander Hunter Smith will take over. Smith making his 12th appearance of the year, a 1-0 record, does have 1 save on the season. 10 2/3 of an inning so far thrown by Hunter on the season. 15 hits, 7 runs, 4 of which have been earned, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .333 off of him, and he will first get Brandon Hunley.
Hunley hitting from the right side. 2 men on, nobody out. The pitch, that one swung on, popped up. Shallow center field, giving chase is Fuller and Bogdan. They're going to give way to the center fielder Brinkerhoff, who finally makes the grab. And there's 1 pitch and 1 out. So a big out there with runners on first and second for Hunter Smith.
And that's just a big out entirely, not just for Hunter Smith, but for the entire Utah Valley team, because now you're a ground ball away from potentially getting out of the inning, and then you can get back up in the bottom half. You just don't want to surrender the lead with a pitcher like Sam Long. You know, if he has a lead, probably pitches with a little more confidence than he's had so far tonight.
Scotty Burcham hitting from the right side. A heavy right-handed lineup, just as UVU has. For Sacramento State, chopped foul down the third baseline. Burcham hitting .294 this season, 233 with runners on and 211 with runners in scoring position. Looking to reverse that trend here. Working from the stretch, Smith peers in, comes set below the belt. Checks the runner at second, the pitch. Fastball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count to Burcham. Burcham reached on a fielder's choice back in the second inning. He scored the first run of the ball game. He then singled in the fourth and scored in that inning as well. The 1-1. Fastball gets by the catcher Atkinson to the backstop. And that double play ball now is no longer relevant as the runners advance to second and third. Luke's at third, Lewis at second base. And I think that's going to be a passed ball. That ball, Jake Atkinson backhanded. I think he should have had it. It was not an easy play by any means, but not a wild pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count to Burcham. Schlehuber even with the bag at third. That one swung on and driven well into left field. Going back is Andrus. Andrus at the wall. Goodbye! A home run! And the Hornets take a 7-4 lead. The Bats have woken up for Sacramento State in this 5th inning. That ball was crushed. And I wasn't sure it was going to get out just because it was a line drive.
Yeah, it was a line drive, hit to one of the more, down the left field line, it's 305, but then it just kind of slowly jets out to, 420, and so just a huge line drive that was hit out that I was kind of like you, Jordan, off the bat. I didn't really see that one getting out, but just barely getting up over the fence.
First pitch breaking ball to Ryan Locke. He tried to hold up but could not check his swing. 0-1. From the windup now, Smith throws, swing and a miss. Another pretty changeup there, and it's quickly 0-2 to the tall designated hitter. So the Wolverines led 4-1. They trail 7-4. Foul tip, topped at home plate, and the count remains at 0-2.
And quickly, Utah Valley going to get some action going again down in their bullpen. They're going to get a right-hander going.
We are in the midst of a 5-run 5th inning. Still only 1 out. Bases empty for Sacramento State. 0-2 pitch. Ball misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Brett Snyder, number 33, getting loose down the Utah Valley pen. And this is kind of what a lot of people probably expected from Sacramento State, to swing the bats, that just didn't want it right now.
1-2 is fouled back to the screen. So Smith battling here. He had Locke really fooled to begin this at bat with the first 2 pitches, but since then, Locke has battled back and has just missed that last pitch as the ball is in the dirt, and the count's even at 2-2.
This is a big hitter for Hunter Smith after giving up the home run, to come back and to battle back and battle through it when your confidence gets low. This is a huge batter here for Hunter Smith.
Curveball swung on, popped up in the infield. Fuller calling everybody off on the right side, doing the pop-up dance over there, but makes the grab, one hand, and they're 2 away in the inning for Gunnar Pullman. Moses led off this inning. He singled and scored. Esposito walked and scored. Lukes singled and scored. Chris Lewis singled and scored. And then Hunley popped up, and then Scotty Burcham hit a 3-run shot over the left field wall. Now after that infield fly right there, there's 2 outs. Pullman swings at the first pitch, pops it up in foul territory. Giving chase is Gothberg over there on the right side, but it gets out of play and into the storage area where they keep all of the field equipment, and it's just a strike. 0-1.
The impressive thing about Sacramento State in this inning, it's not like they've hit 3 home runs. It's just been a single here and a single there. They've been able to turn into runs, and so impressive pieces of hitting here by Sacramento State.
0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, a changeup. It was a beauty. It looked to tell away from the right-handed hitter, and it's 0-2. So that does change Jackson Kofer's line. He gives up 5 earned runs now. instead of the 3, was on the hook for 2 on base when Scotty Burcham hit one out of the ballpark. Fastball misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gunnar Pullman, the 8th place hitter. Pullman has 2 RBIs in this ball game. In fact, he had the only 2 RBIs, produced the 2 runs that Sacramento State had coming into this 5th. They've since scored 5 more runs. They lead 7-4. That one swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. On deck is P.J. Floyd. Base is empty. 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Gunnar Pullman. The Wolverines trail 7-4. Breaking ball misses off the plate outside, and it's 2-2. Coming up in the bottom half of the 5th, it's the middle of the order. It'll be Grayson Bogdan, Spencer Goffberg, and Jake Atkinson for the Wolverines. From the windup, Smith working in relief. Throws. 2-2, swung on and fouled back onto the rooftop. And we'll do it again. Eric O'Gean delivering some brand new baseballs to the home plate umpire, Jared Ferens. Two pitch. Slider missed away, and now the count is full. You had Gunnar Pullman 0-2. Pullman has worked back. It's now 3-2. Smith throws. Swing and a drive. Deep left field. Andrus at the wall. Looking up. It's gone! And you can hear the Sacramento State fans as the Wolverine faithful are stunned. 2 home runs in the inning. It's 8-4 Sacramento State. That was the opposite of what Scotty Burcham's home run. Burcham's a line drive out of left center field. We're going to have a pitching change, but Pullman hit that one high and not too deep to the right of the 305 marker down the wall. So he probably hit that ball, I'm just guessing here, 320 feet, 315 feet. Good, well-hit ball, but that one was high. That one was majestic. So, new pitcher on for the Wolverines. It's 8-4 Sac State. We'll take another break. You're listening to Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com.
Well, the Hornets' bats here have opened up at Brent Brown Ballpark. They've scored 6 runs here in the 5th. New pitcher for Utah Valley. It's going to be number 33, Brett Snyder. Snyder making his 8th appearance, 6 innings so far on the season. 14 hits, 11 runs, 8 of which have been earned, 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .424, and he'll get the 9-hole hitter, P.J. Floyd.
Floyd, the 9th man to bat in this inning. Hitting from the left side. Pitch to him. Fastball swung on and missed. And the Wolverine fans give out a bit of a little sarcasm in that cheer after A 6-run fifth for Sac State. That one swung on and hit high in the ballpark. In fact, shallow right center. Coming in is Kruger. Fuller went way out there from second. Kruger makes the left-handed, one-handed catch, I should say, and the inning is finally over. So, after all, let's see, the Wolverines give up, or rather, I should say, Sac State puts up a 6 spot on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. They don't leave anyone stranded on the base paths. The Wolverines have work to do. They trail 8-4 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. You're listening to Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com. Grayson Bogdan to lead off the bottom of the 5th for UVU. The right-handed hitting shortstop will try to spark a rally. Sam Long, the left-hander, delivers a first pitch fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. The Wolverines trail 8-4. From the windup, Long throws, curveball right there on the outside corner, strike 2. As the sun begins to set behind the right field grandstand, or the first base grandstand, I should say. Ball in the dirt, and the count's 1-2. The Wolverines surrendering 6 runs in the 5th. One ball, 2 strikes, the count to Bogdan. Swung on, little chopper back to the pitcher. He fields it, turns and throws to first, and there's 1 away in the 5th inning. Sam Long, a nice play there to hop off the mound. That ball was hit off the very end of Bogdan's bat. The lefty fielded it and then made a nice pivot to throw to first, and there's 1 away for Spencer Gothberg. Well, the Wolverines trailing by 4. You'd like to get just 1 or 2 runs back here so you don't have to get 4 in the late innings. That pitch right there down the middle, and it's 0-1. With a 4-run lead, Sam Long, he's working very quickly and can afford to throw a fastball down the middle. The pitch, breaking ball on the outside corner, and Sam Long, that's a strike. Sam Long has not looked any more sharp than he does right now.
And right now, I mean, that's part of the great thing about pitching with a 4-run lead. You kind of get a little less concerned. If I make a mistake, it's not going to cost us the lead. Compared to when you're pitching from behind, you don't want to allow any more runs to score.
There may be a little apprehension there. Curveball missed in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out. The pitch. Fastball just missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gothberg. Gothberg walked in the 1st inning, then had a 2 RBI single and scored a run in the 3rd. 2-2 pitch, swung on, sharp ground ball to the shortstop. Bertram makes a nice play on it, 2-handing the hop. Takes a skip, throws to first. There are 2 away in the Wolverine 5th. Atkinson will come to the plate with nobody on. Jake Atkinson, the right-handed hitting catcher. He has an RBI in this ballgame. Picked it up when he grounded out to second base in the 3rd inning. A run was able to come in to score. Pitch to him, fastball at 85, misses up high. Boy, the fastball is only at 85 miles an hour, but it sure gets on these hitters a lot quicker, it seems like. Long, the tall lefty from the windup. Fastball, right there, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Jake Atkinson. Should he reach, it would be Craig Brinkerhoff. The 1-1 swung on and lifted foul off to the right side. And the count is 1-2. Now this is the Sacramento State team that I saw when the Wolverines traveled to Sacramento last season. Very efficient, just a sharp ball club. That one swung on and hit well to left center field, or right center field. Moses going back, he'll ease under it just in front of the 308 marker in right center, and the Wolverines go down in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We head to the 6th. Sacramento State 8, Utah Valley 4. Sacramento State leads UVU here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem by a score of 8-4. We begin the top half of the 6th inning. Back out on the mound in relief for Utah Valley is Brett Snyder. Snyder threw 2 pitches in the 5th to P.J. Floyd, and he got him to pop up in shallow right field. So Snyder will face the top of the order, Kyle Moses. Sacramento State batted around in that 6-run 5th. The pitch swung on, line drive left field, coming in is Andrus. Andrus dives, he's not going to be able to get it. It's going to carry him off his glove into the wall. Heading into second and stopping there is Kyle Moses with a leadoff double. A valiant effort by Cade Andrus in left field, but it was a sinking line drive in and to his right. He gave it his best shot, diving headlong with that glove extended basket style, but couldn't quite make the grab. I think the ball just bounced maybe a foot in front of his glove and then rolled all the way past, or hopped over his glove all the way past him to the wall. So a nice job to hustle back and get it back into the infield, but the leadoff man is at second base for Vinny Esposito. First pitch curveball from Snyder, it's a beauty. Strike one. So the Wolverine pitching staff now, the relief pitching, has to come up big. The Wolverines trailing by 4. Anything more than that, it's going to be tough to come back in this ball game. Snyder steps off the mound and looks. Moses back to second. A few fans wanted a balk, but no balk called. The wind beginning to blow lazily in from center field as we approach dusk here in Utah Valley. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Esposito, and it's 0-2. Esposito walked in that 5th inning, came around to score. He's 0 for 1, 2 walks, and he bounced out in the 1st inning. 0-2 to the right-handed hitter. The pitch. Fastball misses well off the outside. Vinny Esposito hitting .233 on the season. Has a .286 on base percentage. 1-2 pitch. Curveball just missed inside, and it's 2-2 to him. He's hitting .233, but with runners in scoring position, his average jumps to .304. So Vinny can hit in pressure situations. Out there on second base is Kyle Moses. No outs. The pitch, 2-2. Misses away, and the count is full. You know, Vinny Esposito, he may be, and I think he's Italian-American. If he is, he's very close to making my all-whack Italian-American team. 3-2 pitch. Runner takes off for third. Swing and a miss. Throw down to third. Not in time, and it gets away from Schlehuber, though it caroms right to Bogdan, the shortstop, who was coming over to back up the play. So Esposito goes down on strikes, but Moses gets to third with less than 2 outs anyway. A nice job, Kyle Moses. That is his 5th steal of the season. And now Nathan Lukes, the hard-hitting left-handed right fielder, up for Sacramento State. The infield comes in now, playing just at the edge of the grass for the Wolverines. 1 out, man on third. The pitch, curveball swung on and fouled back. A nice curveball there from Brett Snyder to get the over-anxious Nathan Lukes swinging. I think it's Boyd Bell getting warmed down in the bullpen for the Wolverines, a righty. Snyder gave up the leadoff double here in the 6th inning. He then struck out Esposito, and now facing the 3-man Nathan Lukes. Lukes singled in a run last inning. He's 1 for 2, or 1 for 3 rather. 0-1, fastball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lukes. Wolverines playing deep in the outfield, in on the infield. That one popped up in the infield, behind second base. Bogdan giving chase. Forward now slips. Bogdan takes it himself. A one-handed grab near the edge of the grass behind second. And a huge out for Brett Snyder and the Wolverines. 2 away for Chris Lewis.
Yeah, just a mile-high pop-up, and a great job there by Bogdan coming over to make the play. A big pitch there and a big out, because that doesn't allow the runner to score. In that situation, a fly ball to the outfield probably scores Moses with his good speed.
Now Lewis swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the right side. It's 0-1 to Chris Lewis. Lewis singled in a run in that 5th inning. It seems like everybody brought home somebody in that 5th for Sacramento State. I beg your pardon. They scored 6 runs in that 5th inning. They lead 8-4 here in the 6th. A man on third, 2 out. Snyder comes set. He throws a check swing, but no, he did not go around, says Jared Ferens on the breaking ball. Count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Lewis hitting .224 on the season, only hitting .139 with scoring position. Lewis bent at the knees from the right side, takes a fastball up high, and it's 2-1. Moses doubled to begin this inning. Then Esposito struck out, and Snyder got Nathan Lukes to pop up. Moses reached third. He stole the bag. 2-1 pitch, swung on, ground ball, past the diving Schlehuber into left field. Moses will come in to score. It's 9-4 Sacramento State. And a big 2-out RBI single for Chris Lewis. Just a chopper. Schlehuber dove to his left, but it went, just chopped kind of over his glove. So the inning continues, and the Wolverines are unable to throw up a 0 here in the 6th.
That's a position where you really wanted that final out, but a great job by Lewis there to make contact as the pickoff move gets over to first. But back safely is Lewis in that situation.
So here's Brandon Hunley. Hunley faced the first relief pitcher, Hunter Smith, to come into the ballgame. He popped up last inning. That one swung on, fouled back, out of play behind us. And it's 0-1 to the right-handed hitter. Hunley hitting .227. It's interesting, the Sacramento State Hornets, not a great average-wise hitting ball club. But boy, the bats have come alive in the middle innings tonight. Short lead at first for Lewis, held on by Goffberg. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. A nice pitch there by Brett Snyder, and it's quickly 0-2. Playing up the middle is Forward at second base. A big hole on that right side. 0-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and popped up, but out of play onto the rooftop. Playing very deep in left field is Andrus, playing Hunley to Poole. Playing in left center is Brinkerhoff. Playing very shallow in right is Kruger. 0-2 pitch. Down away, the runner takes off, delayed still, throw down. He's out! A beautiful throw by Jake Atkinson. Not sure what Lewis was doing. He was well off the bag, didn't get a good jump. I mentioned it looked like a delayed steal. So the Wolverines get out of the inning, but not before they give up a run on 2 hits. We head to the bottom half of this. The Hornets leading the Wolverines 9-4. You're listening to Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com. The Wolverines trail by 5 runs. The score 9-4 in favor of Sacramento State as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Craig Brinkerhoff, Andy Perkins, and Jordan Schlehuber. 6, 7, and 8. The first pitch from the lefty Sam Long is swung on and driven down the right field line, but well foul. It's 0-1 to Brinkerhoff. Craig 0 for 2 tonight. He lined out in the second and struck out in the third. Sam Long, the lefty on the mound for Sac State, delivers a beautiful curveball right there on the outside corner, strike 2. He's really settled in after giving up 4 runs, 1 in the second, 3 in the third. 0-2 is down in the dirt, came up and caught the catcher, Gunnar Pullman. It looked like just below the chin. He looks to be all right though. As the lights begin to take full effect here at Brent Brown Ballpark,
5 runs back with 1 swing of the bat, so you just have to kind of work every at bat, try to get a guy on and move him around.
1-2 fastball just missed below the knees. A good pitch from Sam Long. Nice job by Brinkerhoff to lay off of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Long kicks. He throws. Swung on. Ground ball through the left side of the infield, past the dive of the shortstop, Scotty Burcham, and the Wolverines have a leadoff man on. Hard hit ground ball through that 5.5 hole, as Tony Gwynn used to refer to it. And here comes Andy Perkins with Brinkerhoff at first.
Right there, I mean, that's just a great piece of hitting by Greg Brinkerhoff. Just take the ball right into the one spot where the Sacramento State fielders aren't at, and right there it just gets off into left field for a base hit.
It's so nice right now, Ryan. I'm trying to call the game and take a picture on my camera phone as that one swung on and fouled off to the left side. 0-1. Mission accomplished.
Multitasking, I like it.
Got some chicken. I have some chicken tenders over here. I haven't tried to multitask in that regard, luckily.
I think you have to draw the line somewhere.
You do, and I throw it to first base because otherwise it would just sound unprofessional. Something we would never dream of being. 1 strike, the count to Andy Perkins. Brinkerhoff, couple steps off first base. Vinny Esposito holding him on over there. The lefty, Long, working from the stretch. Throws a fastball, chopped up the middle. It's slowly hit. This won't be 2. Coming in is Burcham. He gloves it and throws it away. It's in the dirt. Heading for second is Perkins. Heading for third is Brinkerhoff. They'll both hold there. That ball was in the dirt. Burcham had plenty of time, and he took it. Took a couple of skips towards first base, and then threw it in the dirt. Vinny Esposito tried to backhand it, but it got by him. An E6 and a huge break for the Wolverines.
And that's just the sort of break you wanted if you're Utah Valley. I mean, something happens, and now you get a couple of men in scoring position. And once again, not an opportunity where you're going to get all 5 runs back, but here you can bring those 2 runs back, maybe get some action going in the Sacramento State bullpen. Definitely, there's no doubt about it, the strength of this Hornet team is in their starting pitching. So if you can get into that bullpen, as now some guys will begin to head down, it could favor Utah Valley.
The Wolverines trail by 5 runs. Schlehuber at the plate, 2 on, nobody out. Fastball taken down low, and I say a fastball, I miscalled it. A breaking ball misses. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Jordan Schlehuber. He's looking to raise that average a bit. He's hitting 165 on the season. Has an opportunity for a couple of RBIs here. 1-0 pitch, swung on and fouled back into the right. Caroms off the edge of the rooftop and back behind home plate. Count is even at 1-1. Everybody straight away for Sac State, playing well off the bag with the right-handed hitter at the plate is the first baseman, Esposito. Now he comes in just a couple steps behind first base, about 20 feet away from the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Curveball swung on, ground ball up the middle, through, base hit, 1 run will come in to score. Perkins rounding third, they'll hold in the outfield. 2 runs are in, a 2-run single for Jordan Schlehuber. Coming up big there, and just like that, it's a ball game again. Or in his last at bat, singled earlier in the second, 2 for 2. First pitch down in the dirt. Schlehuber tripped in taking his secondary lead there, and had to scurry back to first base. Schlehuber, okay speed. Has only stolen 1 bag this season. Has only attempted to steal 1. So long and a little bit of trouble here. The tying run is on deck in the form of Cade Andrus. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. A beauty. A breaking ball way out in front of it was Fuller, and the count's 1-1.
And really, Jordan, you take a look at it. How many times in the last few weeks have we seen, Perkins, Schlehuber, Fuller, that bottom part of the lineup, get something going and then turn it over to Andrus and Kruger and Bogdan? I mean, it's just happened multiple times. It looks like it's happening once again here tonight.
1-1 pitch. Swung on, line drive, base hit over the leaping glove of Bertram at short. Heading to second, Schlehuber. He's going to try for 3, and the throw comes into the shortstop. It's cut off. Going first to third. Heads up base running by Jordan Schlehuber. Fuller is red hot right now. A base hit, runners on the corners, nobody out, and we're going to have a trip to the mound. I believe that's Reggie Christiansen, the head coach for Sac State. He has yet to make a move to the bullpen. But the tying run, Cade Andrus, will come up with the runners on the corners. 9-6. The Wolverines trail. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 2 runs in, nobody out.
And Sam Long's just not accustomed to, on the season, having outings where really you think of it, the last time he's given up 6 runs in an outing probably has to be a while ago with that 5-1 record and that low ERA, but his ERA has skyrocketed in this start up to 2.52. And you got to credit Utah Valley, 6 runs on 9 hits to back that up tonight, and they're still not done, but they got 12 runs last night against this kind of a starting staff. This is a Utah Valley team that can swing the bats, and teams in the WAC are going to have to wake up to that the final month and a half of the season.
That was not Christiansen. That was the pitching coach, Steve Holm, having a chat with Long, so they let him go out there. Andrus represents the tying run here in the 6th. Fuller at first, Schlehuber at third. The pitch, fastball, down and in. And that fastball is really deceptive. I think that was the slider. Eric Matson comes out of the dugout to have a word with Mark Kruger, who's waiting on deck. 1 ball, no strikes to Andrus. He has 2 strikeouts and a single tonight. Curveball stays up high. 2-0 to Cade. And it's in these type of situations when as a pitcher you're behind in the count that you have to be very careful with Cade Andrus. He could tie this game with 1 swing of the bat.
All right, come on, guys.
I don't think we'll see Fuller take off just because we have that heart of the order coming up for the Wolverines, but you never know. He has good speed. held on over there at first by Vinny Esposito. The pitch, that one down low, and it's 3-0 now.
And now a lot of pressure goes to Sam Long here, because if he walks him, you got the bases loaded for what a lot of people seem to think, and I think it's safe to say one of the best hitters in the WAC sitting in the on-deck circle.
Oh, absolutely. Sam Long, the sophomore out of Rancho Cordova, California. Comes set, the 3-0, missed, down low. And a 4-pitch walk to Kate Andrus. And here comes Mark Kruger. Let's see if Chris Jansen allows his left-hander to face UVU's lefty from the plate.
And I would think just to keep that lefty-lefty matchup that you would at least leave him in here to face Kruger. Then you have, the right-handed part of the order. The next left-handed hitter isn't until the 7th spot, Andy Perkins. So I would think here you would leave him in to face Kruger.
He will do just that. Bases loaded. Now time is taken by the catcher, Gunnar Pullman. Andrus represents the tying run. He's at first base. Fuller at second. Jordan Schlehuber with a lead at third. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Wolverines. They trail by 3. And a ball, I believe, missed off to the outside. Did not miss by much. That was a pretty good looking pitch. 1 ball, no strikes though. 5 straight balls thrown. Now by Sam Long. He comes set, working quickly. The pitch, Kruger takes it in the dirt. A nice stop by Gunnar Pullman just to keep that ball in front of him and keeping the run at third base. So 2-0 now, 6 straight balls. I can't imagine Kruger will be swinging at anything. Let's see if I'd be very surprised if he has the green light here. Long doesn't bother checking the runners. He throws, fastball misses off the plate outside, and it's 3-0. So now, Long has to pour in a strike, or he's going to walk in a run.
So a lot of pressure on Long here, and that favors Mark Kruger here, because an opportunity if Long misses with one, chance for him to get a good pitch to hit.
A 3-0. Fastball, strike 1. So in his last 8 pitches, he's thrown 1 strike, and that was it. Now, if you're Mark Kruger, you're sitting dead red. Kruger has power. He could really get a hold of one. Playing deep and right is Nathan Lukes. Everybody straight away for the Hornets. Swung on and lifted foul off to the left, and the count is full to Kruger. If you're Mark Kruger, you don't want this going through your head at this point, but the only thing you don't want is to ground into a double play. The Wolverines can score a run without a hit. Nobody out, bases loaded. 9-6, Sac State leading the Wolverines. Kruger, the tall lefty, waits. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the left again. Kruger battling up there, an 87-mile-an-hour fastball out of the hand of Sam Long. The starter still out on the mound for Sac State. We mentioned the right-hander pretty much warm in the bullpen for the Hornets.
Long being up over 100 pitches, 106 pitches coming into the at-bat here.
Payoff pitch, base hit, left center field. One will score. Here comes Smaller around third. He'll score easily. Andrus heading into third, standing in there with a 2 RBI double. Mark Kruger slaps his hands together. It's a 1-run ball game.
Just taking what the pitcher's going to give you. He gives you a pitch on the outside corner, as now we'll have a visit to the mound, and Sam Long's day has come to an end. But Mark Kruger just takes the fastball away and just goes with it, puts it out into the spot where nobody's at, especially here, kind of that big outfield in left center field, and he puts it out there. Everyone's running for a while, and now that's the end of Sam Long's day. I don't think he's given up 8 runs very much here in his college career.
No, and it's a deceptive 8 runs because he looked sharp, very, very sharp at times. However, this inning that all started off with a single and then an error has turned into a nightmare. The Wolverines trail by 1. There will be runners on second and third. Nobody out for Grayson Bogdan when we come back on WolverineGreen.com. Hornets lead 9-8.
Welcome back to Wolverine Baseball here on WolverineGreen.com. Sam Long, the starter for Sacramento State, out of the ball game now, and we were talking before the break, the last time he's had a performance like this hasn't been this season. The most he's allowed has been 3 earned runs to 18th ranked UC Santa Barbara, and then also allowed 3 to University of Texas Pan American, but also took the loss last week in Seattle after giving up 2. New pitcher on the mound for Sacramento State, number 32, Tyler Beardsley. The junior will come in. Beardsley on the season. Zero and 0, making his 12th appearance, 15 1/3 innings. Has allowed 7 earned runs so far. Opponents hitting .241 with a 4.11 ERA.
Bogdan fouls the first pitch down the right field line. Kruger on second base, Fuller at third.
Beardsley going to give you a fastball and also a slider, it looks like, and then we'll mix in a change as well. So you're going to see a lot of pitches with some movement on it, which Utah Valley should be used to it because Sam Long had a lot of movement on his pitches tonight.
Bogdan saw the fastball, which he fouled away. Here's a breaking ball that he lays off in the dirt outside, and it's 1-1. So Mark Kruger just wasn't at bat for Mark. The count was full. He fouled off, kept fouling off pitches, and was able to line one into left center field, plating 2 UVU runs. They trail by 1 now. Tying run at third. The pitch swung on, lifted high down the right field line. Giving chase is the first baseman Esposito, and Luke's the right fielder, but it gets out of play, and the count is 1-2 strikes to the right-handed hitting shortstop.
Bogdan's going to come back in the box here with a 1-2 count. It'll be interesting to see here how he plays this. Again, all he needs to do is give us a fly ball to the outfield, and that should probably score Cade Andrews with good speed. You'd love a hit in this situation. Really, all you need is something to bring that run home from third.
The infield playing back, a ground ball to the right side would tie the ball game here with nobody out. Fastball misses away. I say the fastball, slider misses away, and it's 2-2. So the Sacramento State infield conceding that run that would tie the ball game here for the out. Nobody out. Kruger at second. Andrus at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Bogdan. Swung on, ground ball right side. Backhanded by Hunley. He'll throw to first, but Bogdan is safe. Even more importantly, the run comes in, and we're all knotted up at 9.
Hunley dove and then fielded that, but had a hard time getting it out of his glove, and then ended up realizing, hey, I can't make a throw on anybody, and just held on to it.
So a wise play by Hunley not to try and hurry the throw and perhaps throw it away. But the tying run comes in for the Wolverines. It's a 9-9 ball game. And the go-ahead run, still nobody out, is at third base with Spencer Gothberg at the plate. Gothberg, the right-handed hitter, slightly open stance. The pitch went over his head, almost, in fact, hit his bat, which he left up. Needs to bring that baby down, or it's going to be a foul ball. 1-0 to Gothberg.
Something you have to do. I mean, you have to. If that pitch comes up over behind you, you have to get that bat on the either on the ground or bring it down. So, because if it makes contact, Jordan, like you said, that's a foul ball.
The 1-0 coming. Fastball catches the outside corner, strike 1 at 89 miles an hour. So they give Bogdan the single, and it definitely was a base hit for Grayson because that ball was actually, Hunley made a terrific play on it, ranging to his right and diving and backhanding that ball, keeping it in the infield even. I think he saved another run. That run, Mark Kruger at third, swung, foul tipped, and it'll hop toward the backstop. 1-2 strikes now to Gothberg.
And all this coming with nobody out as well, and that's a big thing right now. Utah Valley coming away with some clutch hits in this series, and that's huge against a great Sacramento State pitching staff, but like we mentioned earlier, their bullpen isn't as strong as their starters, so a good opportunity. I think this almost switches momentum now and favors Utah Valley.
The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball, left side, off the glove of the diving third baseman. One run comes in to score. The ball caromed off the glove of Floyd to Bertram at short. He went the easy way to to second base. Hunley was covering. So a nice job by the shortstop Bertram, but the Wolverines take a 10-9 lead. And that'll be an RBI for Spencer Gothberg on the fielder's choice.
A big out there for Sacramento State. You do give up the lead, but just get something. You get some sort of out now. Now you open up the double play here, and you're potentially a ground ball away from being out of the inning.
One out, man on first. The pitch, fastball in there for a strike to Jake Atkinson. Atkinson 0 for 3 on the night. He grounded out to second base in the third. That allowed a run to come in to score, so he does have an RBI. Unbelievable. A 6-run sixth for the Wolverines. They've taken a 10-9 lead. Gothberg at first. Short lead. Curveball in there on the outside corner. Strike 2.
The line now closed on starter Sam Long. 5 innings, 10 hits, 10 runs, 9 of which have been earned. 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. His ERA goes up to 3.19.
And going up to 3.19 after giving up 10 runs, that tells you how good Long has been this year. The righty out there right now is Tyler Beardsley, working from the stretch with a man at first base. Esposito holds on Gothberg over there. Fastball at 90, misses away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Atkinson. The Wolverines gave up 6 runs in the 5th inning. They have since, and then they gave up 1 run in the 6th. They have since scored 6 runs in this 6th inning and have retaken a 10-9 lead. 1 out, a man on. The 1-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out on a beautiful slider, cutting away from the right-handed hitter. And there are 2 away in the inning for Craig Brinkerhoff, who led off this inning. The Wolverines have batted around. First strikeout for Beardsley. Brinkerhoff bent a bit at the knees, but he's a tall right-handed hitter, so he looms large up there. First pitch to him, fastball, misses high and away at 89 miles an hour. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Brinkerhoff singled to begin this inning. He then, what we thought was going to be we thought he was going to advance to second after Perkins grounded to shortstop, but the shortstop Bertram threw the ball away. And that was the spark UVU needed. 1-0 pitch, swung on, grounded up the middle, diving past the glove of Bertram into center field. Stopping wisely at second base is Gothberg. And there are 2 men on with 2 men out for Andy Perkins. So 2 hits in this inning alone for Brinkerhoff.
And 2 back up the middle. He's starting to get that timing down on that pitch to go back up the middle as a right-handed hitter. It means he's right on top of the baseball. That's a very good sign for Utah Valley. His timing's been off so far, kind of struggling this season, but 2 hits last night, now 2 hits tonight, definitely starting to get it to go.
Beardsley is the man right now for Sacramento State. There's no one getting warm in the bullpen. Number 32 out there. The right-hander will face Andy Perkins, the left-handed hitting designated hitter for UVU. 10-9, the Wolverines lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Gothberg with his lead at second. Brinkerhoff not being held on at first base. Playing behind him is Esposito. Playing in at third, maybe just a step in front of the bag, is Floyd. The pitch, swing and a miss. He started him off with a breaking ball, and out on that front foot was Perkins. Andy Perkins hitting .297 on the year. No home runs, 3 RBIs. Looking to drive in that 4th man here. 2 men on, 2 men out. The pitch. In the dirt, a nice stop by Gunnar Pullman behind the plate, and the count's even at 1-1. Everybody straight away for Sacramento State defensively. The wind has ceased to blow. No wind. A calm night now here in Orem. Taking his time is Beardsley. The righty comes set at the waist. Checks Goffberg at second. Now comes home. Ground ball through the left side. They're going to wave Goffberg home. Fielding it in his left is Lewis. He'll hold on to it. And the Wolverines score another 7 runs here in the 6th. It's 11-9. And just a little ground ball that found a hole. Bertram was playing behind the runner at shortstop, and so that little ground ball found some outfield grass, and it means an RBI for Andy Perkins, his 4th of the year, and the Wolverines extend their lead to 2 runs.
I mean, right there, just one of those singles once again where it just finds the right spot for Utah Valley. A lot of these hits tonight haven't been, they've been hit in the general direction of somebody for Sacramento State, but they've just found that one spot where the Sacramento State Hornet can't get to it.
Here's Schlehuber. Ball is taken down and away, 1-0. Schlehuber singled in 2 runs earlier this inning. Perkins at first base, Brinkerhoff at second. 2 outs, 11-9. The Wolverines lead here in the 6th. We're in the midst of a 7-run Wolverine inning. Beardsley throws. Fastball right at the waist, but, maybe a bit above the waist. A ball called there from Jared Ferentz. That one looked pretty good. It may have missed just off the inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Beardsley peers in. Now agrees. Fastball swung on, grounded right at the shortstop. He's going to go to second base for the putout, and the inning is finally over for Sacramento State. But listen to these Wolverine fans as UVU puts a 7 spot up in the 6th. They retake the lead. It's 11-9 Wolverines. We'll head to the 7th. You're listening to Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com. Back here on WolverineGreen.com, Jordan Bianucci alongside Ryan Pickens. The Wolverines score 7 runs in the 6th inning. They retake the lead. It's 11-9. New pitcher as we begin the 7th for UVU. It is Boyd Bell. Boyd Bell, it'll be his 6th appearance. He's only pitched 5 1/3 innings. He has a 10.12 earned run average, although it's a little misleading as he's only pitched 5 1/3. He has struck out 3 hitters and walked 2. So Boyd Bell getting some experience here and in a tight ball game. He will face, in the Sacramento State lineup, 5, 6, and 7. That's Brandon Hunley, Scotty Bertram, and Ryan Locke. And if we know anything, it's that Sacramento State is more than capable of coming back in this one. They trail 11-9 as we begin the 7th. And to tell you all about it, here is Ryan Pickens.
Thank you, Jordan. We'll see how long the leash is on for Boyd Bell as action brewing in the bullpen. I would imagine you'd start to see Kyle Valgardson get loose here pretty soon, and it looks like that is Valgardson warming up now. Valgardson, kind of the closer on this Utah Valley team, has come in a lot of the situations, but Boyd Bell to start the 7th, and he puts a fastball in the inner half to Brandon Hunley. Hunley's flown out, grounded out, and walked so far in this one. 5, 6, and 7. Hunley, Bertram, Locke due up. No balls and 1 strike to count. Bell from the stretch delivers home. Breaking ball that gets right in there at 75 miles an hour, and it's quickly 0-2 on Hunley.
Yeah, pretty curveball, as you mentioned, Ryan, right there on the black on the inside.
No balls and 2 strikes. Bell here, set, ready to go again. The 0-2 pitch comes home. That's just high above the belt, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So you get kind of you get that breaking ball that breaks in there, and then you get a high fastball, kind of not just changing the zone, the eye level of the hitter, but also changing speeds. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Bell delivers the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, went back to the curveball, and it's 78 miles an hour. The first out of the innings recorded on Boyd Bell's first strikeout of the evening.
Yeah, Boyd Bell, the tall right-hander, 6'5", 210 pounds, the senior out of Northridge, California. Went to Pierce College, was a transfer, I should say, from Pierce.
So here comes Scotty Burcham. Burcham hit to a fielder's choice, singled, and hit a home run back in the 5th, 1 of 2 that would come in the inning off of Hunter Smith. The first pitch here to Burcham, and the delivery comes home, swung on and misses. Looks like once again he goes to that breaking ball, and it just starts on one side of the plate and then falls off the table to the other corner, and it's got the Sacramento State hitters out in front, and they're just chasing it. No balls and a strike. Bell delivers home the 0-1 pitch. There's another breaking ball in at the knees, and it's 0-2. So the breaking pitch seems to have Sacramento State back on their heels here, as they're not getting out in front. I think they're just kind of watching it go by. 0-2 here. We'll see if he changes speeds and heads with the fastball. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball. That one comes kind of high and tight for a ball, 1-2. So he goes from it being about 84 with the fastball to dropping it, Jordan, down to about 75, 77.
I'll tell you something. Scotty Burcham up there didn't think that was kind of high and tight. He leaned back out of the way pretty quick.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch comes home. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Boyd Bell back-to-back strikeouts, and Ryan Locke's going to come up.
Well, it's interesting. We've only seen Bell now throw 6 innings, including these 2 hitters, this season. So obviously Dave Carter, Eric Madsen have seen something in Bell, and they're ready to throw him out in this kind of pressure situation, a 2-run ball game. And he's answered the bell, I guess you could say, Ryan.
So it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter coming up here for Sacramento State. It's going to be number 3. That's Devin Lehman, a freshman from Granite Bay, California. Lehman hitting .275, 19 for 69, who stands in from the left side. Trying to get, it looks like, a left-hander up there. And the first pitch on the outside corner, kind of maybe low, about knee-high, but in there, says home plate umpire Jared Ferentz. And looking over, just telling the Sacramento State bench, hey, calm down there, similar to what he did earlier in the game to Eric Madsen in Utah Valley. No balls and 1 strike here to Lehman. Lehman an even stance in the box. First time we're seeing him here in the series. Bell kicks and delivers the 0-1 pitch. That one low below the knees, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Lehman's had 69 at-bats this season. He's hitting .275, 316 with 2 outs. So we'll see what he can do here against Bell, who's looked very, very sharp.
Bell, like some relievers, will work out of the stretch no matter what the situation. The 1-1 pitch, that one misses away, ball 2, and it's 2-1. In the on-deck circle, it's Gunnar Pullman having quite a night with the home run. He's got 3 RBIs on the night. A third of the runs for the Hornets of Sacramento State, who trail by 2 here in the 7th. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The delivery on its way home. That one just sits off the plate, ball 3, and it's 3-1. That didn't miss by much, but just on that outer corner, it's 3 balls and a strike. So good hitters count here for Lehman.
Yeah, that last pitch definitely a ball, but a good pitch. That's a pitch a lot of hitters will chase.
3 balls, 1 strike to count. The kick, the come home, swung on and fouled away. That 2-1 pitch that was off the plate, very similar to that last pitch, and this time Lehman chased it, and it was 3 balls and 2 strikes. That one might have been maybe a little bit further on the corner.
Yeah, Boyd Bell. Another thing that I've noticed here, Bell does not come with a ton of velocity, but mixing in that fastball at 84, you saw how behind Lehman was on that pitch.
3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Lehman waving the bat around, just kind of in circles. Time called. Jake Atkinson will head out to the pitcher's mound to make sure him and Bell are on the same page here. A very quick visit as he heads back behind home plate. Outfield playing pretty normal depth for Utah Valley. Infield back, Bogdan playing as customary, about a step or two back on the outfield grass. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count on Lehman. Bell delivers the 3-2 pitch. That one's going to be swung on, grounded to first. Goffberg is there. He tosses to Bell, covering, and the 3-1 putout ends the 7th inning. So it's time to stand and stretch here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Utah Valley keeps Sacramento State quiet in the top of the 7th. It's Utah Valley 11, Sacramento State 9. You are watching Utah Valley Baseball on WolverineGreen.com.
Please get your seat. It's time for the 7th inning stretch and get me out to the ball game.
Bottom of the 7th inning here on WolverineGreen.com. The Utah Valley Wolverines on top, 11-9 as we begin play in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tyler Beardsley will start the inning here for the Hornets. He'll face 9-1-2 Zach Fuller, Cade Anderson, Mark Kruger as the Wolverines look to add some insurance runs. And the first pitch home is low and away to Zach Fuller, 0-1.
Ryan, I've noticed something. I guess that's my nature. I call the ball games with you. I've observed something.
The 1-0 pitch as Beardsley delivers home. Fuller takes a big cut, comes up empty, 1 ball and 1 strike.
We just had the 7th inning stretch, but customarily, you're still standing. You can sit down now. We've stretched. It's time to sit back down.
The 1-1 pitch is low, ball 2, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Thank you, Jordan. I'm going to stand for a little bit here, a little bit longer.
Ryan, you are an enigma.
2 balls and a strike the count here to Zach Fuller. The 2-1 pitch on its way. That one grounded through the hole. It's going to be fielded backhanded by Bertram. His throw across not in time, though, to get Zach Fuller. And Fuller beats it out to start the 7th inning.
Again, Zach Fuller can do no wrong right now. That was a great play by Scotty Bertram to get to the hole, but then to make a nice one-hop throw. But Fuller with the speed easily beat it out.
4 for 4 tonight. He had a single back in the 2nd, a home run in the 4th, single in the 6th, and now a single here in the 7th. So Fuller maybe playing his way, continuing to swing that hop back, probably making it hard for Coach Eric Madsen not to put him in the lineup as we go back to the top of the lineup in Cade Andrus. Andrus walked back in the 6th and came around to score as a majority of the Wolverines were able to score in the 6th. Beardsley sets, delivers the first pitch, and Andrus looks like fouls it away as it goes off Pullman behind home plate. No balls and a strike. Jared Ferens making sure that Pullman was okay as he delivered the new baseball out to Beardsley. Game 3 of the series set for a 12 o'clock high noon first pitch here on WolverineGreen.com and also on the WAC Digital Network. No balls and a strike. Andrus stands back in the box. Beardsley is set on the mound. Takes a look in, delivers. Andrus shows bunt, then kind of pulls it back. Appeal down to first, says no, he did not go. And it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mark Kruger on deck for the Wolverines. Infield up the middle goes to double play depth here for Utah Valley. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count coming here to Cade Andrus.
Come on, kid.
Andrus walked in his last at-bat, stands in facing a 1-2 pitch. One ball and 2 strikes. Beardsley sets, delivers, swung on, and fouled away. And it's 1-2 the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. As Andrus will stand back in the box, looking over at Coach Eric Madsen, getting some signals here. As now we'll come set here with the 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Derek Amicone instructing the runner over at first, Zach Fuller. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The pitch is low, gets kind of behind Pullman, but Pullman will hold on to it, and it evens the count at 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As it looks like it's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cade Andrus.
Yeah, that ball came up and it looks like hit the catcher Pullman. I'm not sure if it was in the knee or somewhere, but he's bent over at the waist in some pain right now. So the home plate umpire is going to give him some time to walk that off. I'm not sure where it caught him. We don't have the convenience of an instant replay, but he'll walk out in between the mound and again kind of squat down, or not squat down, but bend at the waist, hands on the knees. Wait for that pain to subside. And it looks like he's okay. He'll be good to go.
So it'll be 2-2 on Cade Andrus. Andrus is going to get ready to come back in the box here as Pullman looks like he's ready to go. Andrus will look over, take a long look into the Wolverine dugout to head coach Eric Madsen here and try to get some signs. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Beardsley delivers. That one's going to be chopped to second. It's going to be, the only play is going to be first, and the throw made by Hundley. And there's 1 away here in the 8th inning.
Nice play by Hundley or in the 7th. Nice play by Hundley there to look back. He kind of put his right arm with the ball back as if he were going to backhand it, 35 feet to second base, but went the easy way to first. And the Wolverines have another runner in scoring position in the form of the speedy Zach Fuller. And here comes Mark Kruger. You mentioned, Ryan, tomorrow's ball game beginning at noon. The starters slated for that one. It'll be Caden Schmidt, the freshman, the righty for Utah Valley, and Justin Dillon, the right-handed sophomore for Sac State.
So Kruger, coming off of his last at-bat, had an RBI line drive double that got into the gap. That one's going to be swung on and grounded right to second. Hundley again up with it, the throw in time, and there's 2 away, but that does move Zach Fuller 90 more feet. So Utah Valley playing a little station to station here. But with 2 outs, Grayson Bogdan a chance for a 2-out RBI.
I don't think Mark's going to be real happy as he bites his jersey in frustration with that at bat. He was out in front of a breaking ball on his front foot and just rolled over an easy ground ball to Hundley.
So here's Grayson Bogdan. Bogdan had an RBI single in the 6th, a ground out, a double, and a fly out so far in the game. Two outs here. The kick and the delivery home from Bogdan, and Bogdan, looks like that pitch kind of came in. Bogdan went to kind of swing it first and kind of held up, and looks like the ball stayed inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, North Dakota took care of Chicago State. That final, a 2-1 up in North Dakota. Bakersfield leads UT Pan American 13-0. That game's in the bottom of the 4th.
The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed by Bogdan, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
The game that is all important and interesting to these 2 ball clubs is the New Mexico State-Seattle game up in Washington. Seattle won that 7-6 in 10 innings today, so Seattle will maintain first place, and they would either way, but trying to stay ahead of the pack. Grand Canyon beat Northern Colorado 10-0.
1 ball, 1 strike count. The pitch comes low and away for ball 2, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, Grand Canyon down in Phoenix, 10-run ruled Northern Colorado. They played 8 innings down there.
Utah Valley, after this series, their next WAC series is next weekend in Greeley, taking on Northern Colorado. They'll also play the Air Force Academy in a game down in Colorado Springs. The 2-1 pitch coming home. That one swung on by Bogdan, put down the line. In foul ground, though, the first baseman Esposito is there to make the play. And the 7th inning's come to an end. So Utah Valley gets a man on, and they strand him at the end of 7 from Brent Brown Ballpark. The Wolverines on top, 11-9 here on WolverineGreen.com. Top of the 8th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and Sacramento State coming up 8-9-1. Gunnar Pullman, PJ Floyd, and Kyle Moses coming up against the right-hander Boyd Bell, who begins his 2nd inning of work.
We're talking about tomorrow's ball game. It will be on the WAC Digital Network, which you can go to wacsports.com and find that on there. It'll be televised on there. Just a one-camera televised ball game, kind of like we do on YouTube.
The first pitch misses low and away to Pullman. Pullman having quite a night. A home run, sacrifice fly, and an RBI single.
But I've been told by our colleague James Warnick to mention that on the broadcast. That's all I got, Ryan. I'm not sure. But you can find also the broadcast will be on WolverineGreen.com as well. So no worries, fans.
We got you covered on multiple sites tomorrow. I guess that's the end of the day, the good deal. The 1-0 pitch misses high for ball 2-0.
But looking at the weather, it should be a beautiful day. Come out to the ballpark if you're in the area.
2 balls and no strikes. Boyd Bell, the right-hander, going back to work.
I've been told also that there are plenty of good seats still available for tomorrow's ball game.
2 balls and no strikes. The pitch on its way home, and it's right on the outside corner, 2-1. UVU heads up on Tuesday night to play interstate rival Utah up at Smith's Ballpark, I want to say.
Yeah, you're well, no fault of your own. It seems like it was called Franklin Covey Field for years and years and years. It seemed like, at least. And what a terrific name for a ballpark.
The 2-1 pitch on its way, and then going out there and taking a hack at it is Pullman. I'm assuming that you're referring to because of Willie McCovey.
Well, that
is one of the reasons why there, or is it just?
But just the sound of it. Franklin Covey Field had it has some alliteration. Just felt like it was a good name for a ballpark. Then they changed it as sponsors come and go to Spring Mobile Ballpark, and now it is Smith's Ballpark.
A 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. The 3rd strikeout for Boyd Bell on the night.
Yeah, Boyd Bell has come in here, and he came in having only pitched 5 1/3 innings this season. He's come in here like he's pitched every ball game, just no problem. But Smith's Ballpark now has a nice ring to it.
That game will be a 6 o'clock start here on WolverineGreen.com.
Yeah, it's the home of the Salt Lake Bees. The University of Utah rents it out and plays there as well.
The first pitch misses away for a ball to PJ Floyd. Floyd is 0 for 3 on the night, including lining into an inning-ending double play back in the 2nd. Floyd hitting from the left side. 1 ball and no strikes to the count. Bell kicks and delivers home, swung on and missed. Floyd kind of out in front of that one, and it's 1-1.
We were going over the out-of-town scoreboard last inning, and we mentioned how Seattle won their ball game. They're in first place in the Western Athletic Conference. UVU, should they hold on and win this game, would remain 3 games behind Seattle, and they would be in third place, UVU would. Grand Canyon is in second place, though you really can't count Grand Canyon because they don't qualify for any postseason play.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. That one misses away for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. The good part about being the number 1 or number 2 at the WAC tournament, I believe they have some sort of first round bye. So the 4 plays the 6, and I want to say 3 plays the 4.
You can set up your rotation, and it is. It's a big advantage.
And you don't have to play that extra game. Swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-2. So that could be a very big advantage come that is you set up the rotation like you said, and you get into those later games in the tournament. You can have some good amount of arms available. And speaking of arms, some action in the Utah Valley bullpen. A righty and a lefty getting loose. I want to say that's Volgardson and Poole, and it is. Floyd swings and pops that one up, and that one's going to go down onto the berm there down the left field line, and the count goes to 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boyd Bell in relief has done a remarkable job. Struck out 3 of the 4 hitters he's faced. Floyd stands in. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Bell delivers home. That one's going to be swung on, just tapped out in front of home plate, but it's going to hit the foul line. It will roll foul, so we'll do another 2-2 pitch. Final game of this 3-game series tomorrow afternoon. Utah Valley potentially could be looking for the sweep, although still 2 innings to go in this one, and with the way these 2 teams swing the bat, a 2-run lead is not safe. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Floyd will stand back in. A battle here between Boyd Bell and P.J. Floyd. Big hole out in right center. Brinkerhoff playing shallow and to the left. 2-2 pitch on its way home, and that one's going to be swung on, grounded up the middle. Bogdan's going to retrieve it. His throw across the diamond in time. There's 2 outs here in the 8th. You can't say enough about the defense that Grayson Bogdan in this series and even like last weekend that he has given Utah Valley.
Absolutely, and I was just going to mention Boyd Bell coming in relief here. Has retired 5 straight Hornets, 3 of them on strikeouts.
Back to the top of the lineup and the leadoff hitter, Kyle Moses. Moses has a walk, a single, and a double to go along with a ground out tonight. Bell kicks and delivers, and that one is going to be in there at the knees, and it's 0-1. Should be right around 70 degrees tomorrow or so. Going to be a nice day tomorrow. Maybe in the 60s.
Or the 50s. Hopefully, yeah, should be up around.
0-1 pitch. Moses lines that one to center. Brinkerhoff won't get there. Over to cut it off as Moses takes a good turn around first. And Boyd Bell's allowed the first hit and the tying run. Then Vinny Esposito is going to come to the plate.
You get the sense, or you had the sense when Boyd Bell was just dealing that this game again, yeah, it was Wolverines had it in hand, but it's 11-9 ball game, and just like that, the tying run, as you mentioned, right, comes to the plate. Yeah, tomorrow at noon should be around 55 degrees, around from there to 60 degrees is the estimate, but it's very, very sunny. No chance of any rain. Should be a nice day.
The weather for the most part for the home season has been really nice. A little cold on some nights, but for the most part, we've had really great weather for the home season. After tomorrow, UVU's not home for a couple of more weeks. So your last chance to see the Wolverines comes tomorrow here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Next time they're at home, I believe, isn't until that series against Grand Canyon.
Yeah, on the 24th.
First pitch coming home to Esposito. Breaking ball as Bell goes back to that slider that just kind of ends up right down the middle of the plate. It's no balls and a strike on Vinny Esposito.
Yeah, Sacramento State after tomorrow's ball game heads to Pacific for a midweek out-of-conference matchup, but then plays Bakersfield in a 3-game WAC series.
No balls and 1 strike, the count. Bell from the stretch, time called as I didn't see who called time, but I would imagine Esposito probably said, hey, I want a second.
You know, Vinny has some power here. He's hit 2 home runs on the season. A home run here would mean a tie ball game.
No balls and 1 strike to count. The runner, Moses, gets his lead. That one swung on, fouled away, as that will come back up over us here in the press box, and it'll be 0-2. We haven't seen Sacramento State fully run a ton in this series. Kind of like, just looking at the stat sheet, Jordan, sometimes those stat sheets can be a little
deceiving at times.
Yeah, a little deceiving, because it would appear that they're a team that likes to run a lot, but so far in this series, Sacramento State hasn't ran a ton. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch coming home, swung on and missed. Strike 3 as Moses was running. Boyd Bell comes in, gets 4 strikeouts, and we head to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Right now, it's Utah Valley 9 and Utah Valley 11, Sacramento State 9. You're watching Wolverine Baseball here on WolverineGreen.com.
Pepsi is proud to be a major sponsor of Utah University Athletics. Pepsi, every generation refreshes the world.
So bottom of the 8th inning beginning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Utah Valley would love to add here an extra run or 2 even, of run support here for their pitching staff, whether it's going to be Boyd Bell or Kyle Valgartson. Right now it looks like it might be Boyd Bell, as no action continuing in that bullpen. Spencer Gothberg will lead off against Tyler Beardsley, and Gothberg's going to swing and chop the first pitch to short. They're making the play, the throw across the diamond in time, as Burkham right there to throw it across. So with 1 away, that brings up catcher Jake Atkinson. Atkinson on the night has flown out a couple of times, struck out, and did have an RBI ground out earlier in the ballgame. Atkinson, the freshman out of Cottonwood High School, stands in with 1 away. Beardsley's come in and quieted the Utah Valley bats, and the first pitch comes in, a fastball at the knees, and it's 0-1 at 89 miles an hour.
Good sized crowd on hand tonight. I'd say more than maybe. I'll go over/under. I'll go over 500, 550, maybe 600.
0-1 pitch. That one takes high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Atkinson.
I'm going to reassess that, Ryan. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say 700 people are here tonight.
A very good crowd here for this Saturday night ball game. 1 ball and 1 strike. Beardsley winds, delivers the 1-1 pitch. That one just below the knees. Ball 2, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
The game time temperature was 70 degrees. It's still like 60. It's about 62 degrees out there right now, so it's just a gorgeous evening.
It's a comfortable Saturday night here in Orem, Utah. As we get, even sometimes, early April can be kind of cold. We had some rain and snow earlier in this week. Projected to maybe get some more of that kind of middle of this next week. The 2-1 pitch, that one misses low, ball 3, 3 balls and a strike. So sometimes the weather here can be a little, if you haven't been to Orem, Utah, sometimes it can kind of be a little shaky even this time of the year.
Yeah, a little unpredictable.
3 balls and 1 strike. Beardsley threatened here to walk Atkinson. The 3-1 pitch on its way home, swung on, grounded right to third, and past the third baseman Floyd, as Atkinson's on with a 1-out single here in the 8th. I would imagine that ball is hit hard at Floyd. That should be a hit, and it will.
Yeah, that one was hit very well off the bat of Atkinson, and that's what the Wolverines need. They need some insurance runs. A 2-run lead in this series has not been a lot.
So with 1 away, that's going to bring up Craig Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff has 2 hits tonight for Utah Valley. He's got 4 hits in this series as he's stepped in here into center field for this series. Would love to get a 3rd hit on the night as he stands in from the right side. Beardsley now works from the stretch. Esposito holding on Atkinson. The first pitch comes tight and inside to Brinkerhoff, so he kind of has to twist out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. Brinkerhoff takes a look in over into the Utah Valley dugout. Set, ready to go. Beardsley on the hill. Double play depth up the middle. Swung on and missed as that breaking ball came, and Brinkerhoff went and chased it, and it's 1-1. It's got a lot of late movement. Just kind of fell right off the table there. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. In center field, Moses playing dead straight up. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Beardsley looks in. The 1-1 pitch. Low, maybe outside for ball 2, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, I think you described it perfectly, low and outside.
Didn't miss by much. It was pretty close, but just enough for home plate umpire Jared Ferens to call that one a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Good hitters count. A fastball count here for Brinkerhoff. Beardsley set, kicks and delivers the 2-1. Check swing. They wanted an appeal, but it was called ball 3 anyway.
You mentioned fastball. You mentioned fastball count there, and it was a fastball on the outside. The Beardsley is not afraid to throw any of his pitches, fastball, changeup, slider, in any count. So let's see. It'll be interesting. He did come with the fastball there. Let's see if he comes with it again. 3-1. But if you're Brinkerhoff, you really have to be ready for anything.
3 balls, 1 strike to count. The delivery comes home. Brinkerhoff swings right through it. He got a good fastball, and he just kind of took a cut and came up empty. And the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here with 1 out. We'll see here if they send Atkinson. I wouldn't think so with only 1 out, but you just never can tell.
Atkinson with pretty good speed.
You're getting a decent lead over there. Maybe an extra step than he would normally have. Hands on his knees at first. 3-2 pitch, Atkinson going, Brinkerhoff fouls it away. And that's one situation that maybe makes Eric Madsen feel a little more comfortable running in that situation. You have a hitter in Brinkerhoff at the plate who is a pretty good contact hitter. And so situationally, you wouldn't have sent him in that situation with a hitter that struggles with making contact with the baseball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Atkinson once again getting his lead. Beardsley from the stretch, paying a lot of attention to Pullman behind home plate, not a lot of attention to Atkinson. 3-2 pitch. That was swung on, hit to center field, but right at Moses. He's there, and he'll make the play, and there's 2 outs. The ball was hit hard off the bat, but it jammed him a little bit. And Moses was playing in perfect defensive position in dead center field just to reach up and make the catch. And with 2 outs, Andy Perkins will step up. Perkins had himself a RBI single in the 6th, also reached in another at-bat on an error and came around to score in the 6th as well. So 2 outs as getting his lead is Atkinson over at first. Beardsley working from the stretch, gets the sign from Pullman. Delivers home the pitch, and that's just on the outside corner for a called strike, 78 miles an hour as he goes to the changeup, and it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count. Perkins out of Spanish Fork, Utah, about 15 minutes south of Orem. No balls and a strike. The pitch comes home. That one's going to be swung on, chopped over to the hole. Fielded by the first baseman, Esposito, who underhands it, but he didn't get his foot on the bag. Esposito underhanded it to the pitcher covering, and Beardsley stretched for the bag, didn't get it, stretched again, and by that time, Perkins had hit first base. And so a couple of men on for Jordan Schlehuber.
Yeah, we saw that earlier with Sam Long on a ball hit to that right side. It was fielded by the first baseman, Esposito, and an underhand toss to Long, and he couldn't quite find the bag with his right. It was his right foot. And same thing happened here with Tyler Beardsley.
And so with 2 outs, here comes Jordan Schlehuber. Schlehuber had himself a 2 RBI single in that 6th inning. Hitting from the right side, couple of men on base. Beardsley checks the runner at second, Atkinson, and now will step off the mound. Action beginning to brew down in the Utah Valley bullpen. It looks to be a left-hander, Braden Poole, continuing to throw. bottom half of the inning, you do have Nathan Lukes, the left-hander, leading off, so they might be doing that to have a lefty-lefty matchup. Stepping off the mound here is Atkinson. Stepping off the mound there is the pitcher Beardsley. Atkinson, the runner at second base, went back to the second base bag. The pitch comes home. There's a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and it's 0-1. In fact, that was the changeup at 78. No balls and a strike to Schlehuber. Schlehuber with his knees bent in the batter's box, the bat up over his shoulders. He kind of circles it around, waiting for the Beardsley delivery. The 0-1 pitch. That one blocked by Pullman behind home plate. Starting to break for third there was Atkinson. And Atkinson quickly, when he realized the Pullman had blocked it, heads back to the second base bag. And now it's going to be a 1-1 count.
Well, with 2 out and 2 men on, and the Wolverines leading by 2, a third, a fourth run looms large here, insurance-wise, heading into the 9th.
And they've just credited an error on the Andy Perkins. It's going to be an error against, I believe it's going to be
Beardsley,
as that one's going to be hit down the line by Schlehuber, but it's going to go foul, and we'll do another 1-2 pitch. So it's an error on Beardsley for not being able to get on the bag, as he should have been able to find the first base bag. So that takes the hit. It won't be a single for Perkins, but he'll reach on an E1. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count here on Jordan Schlehuber. Schlehuber got good contact on the last one, just hooked it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. Runners get their leads. The 1-2 pitch. Beardsley delivers home, and that one's called strike 3 on the outside corner, as that pitch just sat beautifully on the outer half for a called strike 3. We've played 8 at Brent Brown Ballpark. The Hornets of Sacramento State need 2. We'll see if they can do it when we come back here on WolverineGreen.com, where the Wolverines are on top at the end of 8. Top of the 9th inning coming here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Sacramento State needing 2 to come up, and they'll have the right part of their lineup. They'll have 3, 4, and 5 coming up. New pitcher for Utah Valley, wearing number 44, is going to be Braden Poole. Poole, the left-hander, so far on the season, has come in making his 12th appearance, 1 save on the year. This is a save situation for Poole, as he's pitched in 12 2/3 of an innings, 14 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 9 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .286 off him, and Jordan, he's got the middle part of the lineup. No easy task to say, hey, go in and get Nathan Lukes, and we'll see what Lukes can do. And to tell you all about it, my colleague in the booth, Jordan Bianucci. Jordan.
Thanks very much, Ryan, and you're absolutely right. Not a walk in the park here. Boyd Bell pitched sensationally. He's been relieved now by Poole. First pitch, fastball misses away. 1 ball, no strikes to Nathan Lukes. Poole, you mentioned wearing number 44, his usual number 16, the green uniform 16 that the Wolverines have on tonight. Well, it was destroyed on the last road trip, I'm told. That one popped up down the left field line, giving chase as the shortstop Bogdan dives. He can't make the play, just in foul territory. What an effort from Grayson Bogdan as he gets up slowly. That ball was just popped up down the left field line, about halfway down. Bogdan had to come a long ways to even get near that baseball. Gave a headlong dive into foul territory and couldn't quite come up with it. That would have been the play of the year had Bogdan made it. Wow.
And really, if there's one man on this Utah Valley team that's going to make a play like that, I would say it's good chance it's going to be Grayson Bogdan. I give him an A for effort. Unfortunately, all I can give him, I guess, is broadcaster points because
they mean absolutely nothing. 1 ball, 1 strike. I guess Braden's uniform fell out of the bag and was going to drag through the airport at some point. It's no longer usable as a strike falls in there on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nathan Lukes. Lukes singled in a run back in the 5th. It's his only hit. He's 1 for 4. Bases empty, nobody out. Wolverines leading 11-9 in the 9th. Breaking ball misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So if you're Poole, the last thing you want to do here is walk Nathan Lukes and allow the tying run to come to the plate. Lukes standing up straight in that batter's box. Now bends his knees, open stance, 2-2 pitch, swung on, line drive, base hit. Now the tying run will come to the plate, and that's okay if you're the Wolverines. If you're Poole, you tip your cap and say, hey, I made a pitch. He hit a line drive up the middle. So now it gets interesting.
And Kyle Valgaardson warming up in the pen, and Eric Madsen's going to pull Braden Poole. So Poole comes in for the lefty-lefty matchup, but now Chris Lewis is coming to the plate, and it's going to be the closer, Kyle Valgaardson.
So we'll take a break. Tying run coming to the plate. The Wolverines 11, Hornets 9. We're in the 9th inning here on WolverineGreen.com. We'll be back after this.
Top of the 9th inning here on WolverineGreen.com. The Wolverines, after Braden Poole comes in to face Nathan Lukes, with the group of right-handed hitters coming up, and Lewis, Huntley, and Burgum. They quickly go to the bullpen and bring in Kyle Valgaardson. Valgaardson 1-2 on the season, making his 14th appearance, a 2.62 ERA. He's got 2 saves on the year in 24 innings pitched, 22 hits allowed, 10 runs, 8 walks, and 13 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting 250 off him. So Jordan, 24 innings pitched, 22 hits allowed. He's given up about a hit per inning. But the good news is, as long as that's not a 2-run homer in this situation, you're fine if you're Utah Valley.
He will face Chris Lewis. Lewis has singled twice in this ball game, knocked in a couple runs. He's 2 for 4. As Valgaardson takes his warm-up tosses here. So you knew it was going to be interesting. The Wolverines leading by 2 here with a man on first base in the form of Nathan Lukes. The tying run coming to the plate is Chris Lewis, right-handed hitter. Valgaardson will come with a couple of different arm angles. He'll come over the top, maybe a 3/4 release, and then he'll drop down at times, and it won't, not quite a sidearm release, but will definitely come from the, I guess you could describe it as a little lower than a 3/4 release. So righty on righty matchup here. Lewis steps in. Gothberg will hold on the runner at first. That's interesting. That opens up the right side, and that run doesn't mean a ton right now. The pitch swung on, chopped to third. Schlehuber goes back on it. Will go to first, and he makes the play. Nice throw by Jordan Schlehuber. That ball was chopped in front of home plate. Schlehuber immediately read it. Took a few steps back behind the bag, made the play, and calmly threw to first base. Good arm. So 1 away. Lukes advanced to second on the 5-3 putout. 1 away now for Brandon Huntley.
We're going to have Josh Egan's going to pinch hit here, as Egan's going to hit for Huntley.
So Egan's number 35 hitting from the left side.
This might be where you might see Valgaardson maybe go down to that 3/4 delivery. Could be kind of harder to pick up, but you got this righty on lefty matchup, which gives a better angle for the hitter at the plate to be able to pick up the pitches.
First pitch is a fastball right on the outside corner. Strike 1 at 90 miles an hour. Josh Egan hitting, well, he's only had 3 at-bats this season. He is 2 for 3, so take that for what it's worth. Open stance from the left side. Fastball just misses off the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Egan stands up straight in that left-handed hitter's box. Batter's box, I should say. Now he grounds one to second base. Should be an easy play for Fuller. He has it. Sidearms to first. 2 outs.
Right there, even though the runner moves up 90 feet, you'll gladly take the out right now as you get Burcham coming to the plate.
Yeah, advancing to third is Lukes, but with Sacramento State trailing by 2, Lukes means nothing at third base. Here is Scotty Burcham. Burcham, hitting from the right side, has homered in this ballgame. He hit a 3-run shot back in the 5th. A homer here would tie the ballgame. First pitch, breaking ball, stays above the belt. 1 ball, no strikes. Valgartson working from the far right side of the pitching rubber. From the stretch, comes set below the waist. He throws. There's a strike down the pipe, a fastball at 90, and the count's even at 1-1. Valgartson, not a high leg kick, just a very simple delivery. Never brings his feet close together. His left foot's always in front of the right. Small kick, 1-1 pitch, fastball misses down low. 2 balls, 1 strike to Burcham. Burcham, a .297 hitter on the year. His first home run came in this ball game today. Has 17 runs batted in for the season. Righty on righty matchup. The pitch. Fastball again, misses low and away though, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. So if you're Valgartson, you have to be careful here. A fastball down the middle of the plate, Burcham could tee off. Let's see if Kyle Valgartson challenges him though. Man on, 2 out, 9th inning. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, and that was a challenge fastball if I've ever seen one.
The good thing is at the college level, when you can throw 88 to 92, you can get away sometimes with throwing that pitch down the middle. You get up into the higher levels of minor league baseball and up into the big leagues, you're not getting away with that pitch there.
Burcham didn't miss that one by much. Fouled it back, straight back. Full count, tying run at the plate. 9th inning, the pitch. Swung on and fouled back again. A nice battle between these two. Burcham, step out of the batter's box. Valgartson gets a new baseball, rubs it up. Now peers in to Atkinson, has what he wants. That left glove, or I should say doesn't have what he wants yet. Now he does. Comes set, 3-2 pitch. Swung on, line drive center field. Coming over and to his left, and Brinker Hoffey makes the grab in left center, and the ball game is over. The Wolverines win this one by a final of 11-9, and in doing so, ensure a series win over Sacramento State. And if you would have said that just a couple of days before this series started, you would have gone, well, I don't know if you can get a series win over Sacramento State, but they do just that, and they will go for the sweep tomorrow afternoon.
You know, at times this year, Utah Valley's played a little inconsistent, and so tonight, I mean, coming out here, now they've won their 3rd straight WAC series. This is a team that's starting to peak at the right time to have a chance to maybe build towards having a very successful team. This is still a very good Sacramento State team. They're just getting on the wrong side of some games. So this is going to be an interesting one tomorrow. You know this Hornet team's going to come to the ballpark ready.
But tonight, the Wolverines take care of business. It was a wild one. They end up winning this one by a final of 11-9. We'll take a break here on WolverineGreen.com and come back with the Wolverine Green post-game show. So stay with us for our post-game commentary. Once again, the final here, Wolverines 11, Hornets 9. We'll be back with the post-game right after this.
We'll find out. Let's hope so. Good to see you.
Back here on Wolverine Green, we welcome you into the postgame show. I'm Jordan Bianucci alongside my partner, Ryan Pickens, and the Wolverines take game 2 of this 3-game set with Sacramento State by a final of 11-9. And Ryan, it was a wild one. It started out with both starters, Sam Long and Jackson Kofor, pitching well, and then things kind of got away from them in the middle innings, but the Wolverines pull it out.
Yeah, those middle innings, one of those things, both pitchers, like you said, John, I love the way you said that. They were both pitching very well in the early part of the game. Kofor gave up the early run, but you'll give up a run. As a pitcher, when you get out there on the mound, you're going to give up a run here and there, and that's what Kofor did. He kept his team in the ball game. You got into that 5th inning, though, all of a sudden they chased Jackson Kofor. That was 6 runs in the 5th inning, all getting charged to Jackson Kofor, and just kind of one of those outings for him where 4 innings went really well. He's had a couple of outings this year where he's gotten to those 4 innings, but now you got to transition him from getting into that 5th and 6th inning. On the other side, Sam Long, we knew coming in he had that ERA of below 2, I believe it was coming in, like 1.85, and then tonight he just gets knocked around. The 9 earned runs, 10 overall. It didn't really walk very many people, but all of a sudden Utah Valley wakes up the bats, and all of a sudden after Sacramento State scores their 6th, the Wolverines say, hey, we'll take your 6th and we'll raise you a 7th, and that was a big 7-run inning that really won the game for Utah Valley tonight.
Absolutely, and it's that kind of adversity that the Wolverines weren't responding well to earlier this season, but right now, to see Sacramento State put up a 6 spot and to come back and match it with a 7 spot, that is impressive, especially against, as we mentioned, this is a good Sacramento State ball club. Talking to the coaching staff this weekend, this is not, and this doesn't mean to, I don't mean to disparage Chicago State, but they've struggled of past years. Sacramento State went to a regional last season and really took care of UVU in a few games last year and ended UVU's season for them. This year, the Wolverines are playing well against a good team.
Well, and I think that's a great positive side of things if you're Utah Valley. You look at it and you say, hey, we faced 2 pitchers in a lot of respects that could be all-conference pitchers.
Absolutely.
And we put 11 runs up on them one night, and we put 12 up on another. And you come to the ballpark with that kind of confidence and that mentality. Jordan, we talked about it just from the booth, watching him take batting practice, and we watched the Wolverines take some batting practice on Tuesday. There's a different confidence level in this team now, stepping in, taking it, even in the batting cage before the game, than to say there was when we started with the St. Mary's series. And so it's just interesting to kind of watch and see how this team's, becoming better. You're seeing those inconsistencies begin to kind of, become less and less. And really, they struggle early on in the season, but in a conference like the WAC, we've said it before, and I'll say it again, it doesn't really matter necessarily how you're playing early on. It's how you're playing when you get to Mesa in May, when you have a shot to play for the conference championship, and that's really what it matters, is when you play at the end of the season. And for Utah Valley right now, they're starting to peak. Unfortunately, their season's not over yet. They still have a good month and a half left of regular season baseball, but they're getting a great series here against a team in Sacramento State who's just struggling right now. Sacramento State the last couple of nights has done a lot of things in which typically you score 9 or 12, 9 runs 2 nights in a row. Typically, you're going to have 2 W's, especially with that pitching staff. It's just they've ran into a Wolverine team that's swinging a very hot bat right now.
They are, and they've run into a Wolverine team, as we mentioned, that is just in a different mindset right now. The confidence is unbelievable. Even after losing big to BYU on Tuesday, they've been able to regain their composure, and the body language you can see is different. And tomorrow they will go for a sweep over Sacramento State. And again, if you would have said that a week ago, you wouldn't have believed it. That's pretty impressive. And also, just one other thing I wanted to note was what you mentioned is the beauty of this game. It's a marathon. Even in college baseball, you play a lot of ball games. It's nowhere near, of course, the big league level, but you play a lot of ball games, and we've seen this team evolve. We've seen this team improve, and it's been great to watch. And as you said, you want to be playing well going into Mesa for that WAC tournament, and UVU is putting themselves in a good spot right now to be playing well going into that tournament and putting themselves in a favorable spot as far as seeding-wise goes. They'll remain 3 games back of first place. Seattle winning tonight. They're playing terrific baseball right now, but UVU playing good, just solid baseball right now and being able to respond to adversity, and that's something that we haven't seen all year, and we're seeing it right now, and they're really coming into their own. There are definitely areas they can improve, trying to stay away again from that big inning. We'll see if they can do it tomorrow. You would rather the Wolverines not have to come back after giving up a 6-run spot or a 6 spot in an inning, but they were able to do it tonight, and they will go for the sweep of Sacramento State tomorrow. So we'll look at the final totals here. The time of the ball game was 3 hours and 14 minutes. Attendance, 654 fans saw this one. The winning pitcher tonight, it is Brett Snyder, who came on just for an inning and a third of work, but did the job. The save goes to Val Gartson. That's his third of the year. They give Sam Long only his second loss of the season. His record falls to 5-2. The Wolverines scored 11 runs on 15 hits, 1 error in the field. Sacramento State, 9 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors in the field. So the Wolverines with a happy ending tonight. Our next broadcast will come to you from Bren Brown Ballpark just in a not so many hours. Tomorrow at noon, local time, the Wolverines will play a day game and once again go for the sweep over the Hornets.
That game's also on the WAC Digital Network as well.
On the WAC Digital Network at wacsports.com and here on WolverineGreen.com. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast. For my broadcast partner, Ryan Pickens, I'm Jordan Bianucci saying so long tonight from Orem, where the Wolverines beat Sacramento State 11-9.